Greetings from the archive. How's everyone doing tonight? Hello, hello, hello. Hi. What's everyone up to? Let me go through and say hello to folks. Hello to Cat-Eared Yuri Enjoyer. Hello, Dusklight Wanderer, Quarry, Sleepy Husky, JM, Druid of the Gaze, Gremlin Transabian, Asa, Dangerous Safety, who is threatening me, Dusklight Wanderer, Pyro. Hope everyone's doing well. How goes it? What's everyone up to? What have y'all been doing? How has life been treating you? Hello, Gracie Bacon as well. Staying warm over here? That's very good. It is currently 60 degrees outside. That's cold. Just joining the man of packing work to do today. Moving on Saturday. Good luck to you. Hello, Saxmith. Indeed. Our stream title today comes to us from the wonderful Apes of the State, who I had the pleasure of seeing live the other night, and it was an absolutely incredible show. I adore Apes of the State. Apes of the State was like my second most listened to artist last year, for good fucking reason. No, sorry, my third most listened to artist last year. For good fucking reason. Just an absolutely incredible band who makes some genuinely life-changing music. Hello, Scarth. Hello, Loop. How's everyone doing? I found that you can get a bench, stairways, wheelchair ramp for a tombstone. Oh yeah, you can make your tombstone like a lot of things. There's not a whole lot of limitations. Definitely like you had a good time. It was absolutely wonderful. I've been playing some Subnautica Below Zero. I have not actually, so I did play Subnautica. And I got really hyper-fixated on Subnautica for a while a few years ago. I never played Below Zero. But no, I had the absolute pleasure of getting to see Apes of the State live, and it was an incredible, incredible time. They are one of my favorite bands for good fucking reason. They make music that hits to the core. Basically everyone I know cried at some point during the show, and that's how you know you're at a good show. If people start crying at the folk punk show, you know you're at a good show. If no one sheds any tears, then something's gone wrong. Got some job interviews lined up, things may be going well soon. Good luck, good luck. I hope it goes well, genuinely. The job market is fucked right now, but I'm sending all the best. Good luck, good luck. That shit ain't easy. You got this, though. If there's any advice that I can offer, I'm happy to try. Crying at the folk punk show, indeed, Rin. How are you doing tonight? Lovely to see you. Hello, Mittens, as well. Bark, bark, bite, bite. I have a lot I want to yap about in regards to the show I went to last night. I have so many thoughts in my head. I have so many thoughts in my head, but I'm also not gonna lie to y'all. I am scatterbrained as fuck. I am extremely, incredibly scatterbrained. Nothing wrong with that. Sometimes you have to be a little scattered, especially after a show like that. But we're gonna push through. We're gonna make it. We're gonna keep on fucking yapping, because that's what I do best around here. Let the fox yapping commence. Great way to start the morning. Indeed. Wanna know you'd be fixated on ska with Jer? Good! Jer is fucking incredible. Jer is so good. Jer initiated my recent ska punk fucking binge, and I need to get back on top of that because I have been slacking a little bit on the ska punk. But Jer is absolutely incredible ska punk. I'm gonna be seeing Jer live in a couple months. Jer's going on tour soon, by the way. Anyone who heard me yapping about and info dumping and hyperfixating on Jer recently, Jer's going on tour. Just want to make that point. Hello, Chorna. I am so sorry for not responding to your DM the other night. I slept for like 12 hours and then went to a punk show. I'm a youngin'. I'm a young adult. I am 24 years of age, so I can still afford to make these mistakes. I'm living it up while I still can. But no, would absolutely give a shout out, a recommendation to Jer for anyone who is into ska. They're gonna be touring the US soon. Hello, Ember Ray! We're gonna have a headache. Hang on in there, Rin. You got this. You got this. Do the best you can. You can survive the day. It is hard sometimes. Bodies hurt, and jobs can suck, but you will survive. You can persist. You are strong and powerful. You are more powerful than the capitalism that holds you down. Just shut down my Switch 2 and it's midnight and the 3-point update for Switch 2 is now live. Ooh, nice! I have not gotten a Switch 2 yet, actually. I'm still running an OLED. I've been thinking about trying to get a Switch 2 soon, but I'm waiting until after... I'm probably waiting for the next Pokemon generation to come out. I do have the money, but I'm planning on going to Offkai and making a couple other potentially big purchases soon, so my couple thousand in savings might be dwindling a little bit in the near future, but we'll get through it. I never get a Nintendo console unless the Animal Crossing element is released. You know what? Valid. Animal Crossing Wild World was the first video game I ever played. I adore Animal Crossing. We do definitely have that in common. I'll survive, but will everyone else? You know what? Fair. Fair. Try not to commit a murder. Hello, no eyes for you. Lovely to see ya. Bark, bark, bye, bye. I got a book about Aztec warfare at the cemetery I went to. Hell yeah, enjoy your book on Aztec warfare. I don't know a whole lot about it, but fascinating. Gonna Switch 2 when they announced 3.0 features for Switch 2 Animal Crossing exclusive. Valid. Completely fair. I'm tempted to get a Switch 2, but I need to save up until after a couple big things that are coming up this year. We'll get through it. We'll get through it. I'll see how my wallet is feeling after the summer, because I have... Chat, I'm gonna be moving over the summer. I'm also gonna be going to Offkai and a couple big shows, so... We'll see how I'm doing money-wise. We'll see how I'm feeling. Got Ark into Ferocious Dog. Ark was recently gotten me to Local News Legend. Local News... Oh! Emily of Local News Legend is such a sweetheart. I have met her a couple times and it's really funny. She recognized me the second time I went to one of her shows, because I got injured in the pit. And she was like, hey, are you okay? Not for several months. Not for several months. I don't want to talk too much about it. I don't want to talk too much about it because, it's a little bit like, curtains down of a moment, but that's, I'm gonna, if you see any kind of, like, fundraiser going up for me, like, needing to buy new furniture and whatnot, that's probably why. Sometimes you gotta break all your bones in the pit. Yeah, so I got horribly injured in the pit at that show. It was, like, the third mosh pit I had ever been in, and it was enough that, like, a lot of people were asking me if I was okay. And this was at a Days and Days show. Days and Days is a very wonderful folk punk band, one of, like, the most influential folk punk bands out there. I got up on stage, because Days and Days does this fun little segment to the song, Self-Destructive Anthem, where they will let people get up on stage and sing a custom verse. So I got up on stage, and I sang a custom verse about getting fucked up in the pit, and I still get recognized for that to this day. Hoping to interact more, but I have to sleep. No worries, you take care of yourself, Chorna. All the best. I promise I will respond to your DM. I've just been a little bit all over the place, given punk show and whatnot, but you take care. Bark, bark, bite, bite. Now, sometimes you just gotta get injured in the mosh pit. I'm yet to break a bone in a mosh pit, but I've ended up with a lot of bruises, a lot of cuts and scrapes, a lot of, damaged belongings. That's how it goes. We're figuring things out. We're figuring things out. Finally got insurance, kind of going. Hell yeah, Drake. You just reminded me that I was supposed to call doctors this morning, but I forgot because I was hungover. The one thing I had on my to-do list today was to contact doctors and make an appointment. And I forgot. Because I was hungover. Fuck. Whoopsie. Oopsie. Oh no. Hello, Wonder. Bark, bark, bite, bite. How are you doing today? can never do mosh pits, I get a panic attack within a minute. See, I thought for the longest time that I would not enjoy moshing. And then I got accidentally thrown into the pit, kind of wandered into it, not realizing what was happening at a front bottom show on December 3rd of 2024. And it was the best fucking time I had had in probably ever at that point. That was probably at the time like the best night of my life, actually. I realized I kind of really jive with moshing. I'm normally a very touch-averse person. If you touch me without permission, I will bite you. Please do not hug me unless we are very close, etc., etc. But there's something about moshing that is very different for me. It's something about the total loss of control getting ping-ponged around. If I can be so dead-ass with you, I think I have a similar relationship with moshing in some elements as I do with like some elements of kink. And that's gonna sound weird and wild, but just roll with it. I don't talk a whole lot about the latter on stream because we keep things to educational and like mildly suggestive territory. Y'all know how it goes. But there's something really lovely about the simultaneously chaotic but also organized consensual violence of the pit. Is moshing different because no one there intends to touch you and just happens? Oh, everyone intends to touch you. That's how it goes. It's something about the consensual violence of it that just really jives with me. I feel like I'm a part of something greater. There is a loss of control that is quite pleasant. And just being able to dance, be body against body, get picked up by fucking strangers. There's something about it that's so different in the specific context of a punk show. But thank you, Wonder. I hope you're doing well. Currently in bed winding down for EP Sleepy. You're so valid. God, the EP Sleepy is hitting me as well, but we're pushing through. I hope you get some good EP Sleepy. Thankfully, I am not hungover anymore. I was only mildly hungover, which is surprising given how much I drank. I probably had at least 5, like, drinks worth of alcohol last night. I wasn't really counting. We did that funky little thing where we took a bottle of mixer and poured, like, half a bottle of booze into the mixer, directly. And just kind of passed that around in a circle. I don't know how much I drank. It was probably a lot. But I was only mildly hungover. It's like asking someone to fucking shut up. Yeah, and I think that's part of why I say, also, hello, Kotal bark, bark, bite, bite. I think that's part of why I say that my relationship with moshing is kind of similar to my relationship with kink. It is a very cathartic experience wherein, you kind of consensually give up an amount of control, on your own fucking terms, and you have the ability to opt in and out. And it is ultimately a show of solidarity. Does any of that make sense? Need to leave earlier as I have to do work? No worries, you take care, no eyes for you. Hope to see you again sometime in the near future. I don't know how much that makes sense. It makes sense in my head, but there's something about the, like... Yeah, there's a way in which I would definitely compare those two. No, not necessarily, Pyro. I'm not gonna get into like, okay, my intention with this is absolutely not to get into the specifics of kink. I'm just talking about, like, how I think the ways in which, for me, moshing is cathartic is adjacent. You know? The reasons and ways in which it is cathartic are similar. You know? They are both spaces in which I find a lot of catharsis. I hyperventilated because I had to get back to uni after summer break just because people don't really know if moshing for me, because I had bad experience with similar things, and that's totally fine. I'm not saying, oh, go get in a mosh pit right now. I'm just saying that I personally thought I wouldn't like it and end up loving it. I'm not telling you, go hop in a mosh pit. I'm just saying, if you ever want to give it a shot, you can hop into a pit for 2 minutes and jump out of it really easily if you don't like it, you know? I'm not telling you to go do that, but, like, if you ever end up in the position where you're curious, it's a very easy opt-in and out experience. I didn't think I was gonna like it, but there's something different about touch in that specific scenario and capacity and situation. You're okay, Byro. It's the difference between having control taken away and giving control away. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And like, mosh pits. How do I say? Yeah, it's a violent show of solidarity and community. It's an energy, not an intimacy. Yeah. I think it's also a way for you to experience something you're normally adverse to. Maybe, I don't know. It also helps that a lot of the times when I'm going to shows, I am seeing very small bands, so the pit is composed about 70% of people I know. At this point, most of the time when I'm going to a show, I know most of the people in that pit. Those are my friends, my buddies, because, like, if I'm not traveling, to a different city, which I do frequently, but if I'm seeing shows, even in other cities, if I'm not driving more than 2 hours, I'm gonna know most of the people in that pit, because they're all my friends. They're all, like, close buddies of mine that I hang out with regularly. We drove, like, we drove a decent distance to this show, but we all, like, met up beforehand and, prepped drinks and whatnot. Hello, Semi-Sin! Bark, bark, bite, bite! No you! No you! But yeah, like, I'm in a mosh pit with a bunch of people I know. We, you know, prepped drinks beforehand at one of their apartments and, like, carpooled over. It was a funny situation where I was like, okay, I want to get fucked up tonight, but I also know I'm the only person in the room who can drive. So the entire reason we decided to pull the whole, like, pre-mixing and bringing a drink thing. So we had a big bottle of Pepsi that was, like, 1/3 empty. We just filled the remaining third of it with alcohol. The entire reason we did that was because I wanted to get fucked up when we got there, but I could not drive while fucked up. I needed to be capable of driving. Watching is something we're not sure we're into, but we'd like to try to be sure. Yeah, I mean, like, why not? But also, again, no obligation to. Like, it's not for everyone, straight up. Group queer culture is having maybe 2 friends in the group who can drive. Yeah, I'm gonna be so real. There's like 3 of us in the friend circle who are like the designated drive. Well, not the designated drivers, we still consume substances, but who are the, like, group drivers. I think it'd be overwhelmed to freak out. See, I thought the same thing. Because I'm very touch averse, but I figured it out. That said, definitely not for everyone. I adore it. For me, it's a big part of my culture and identity, but, like, to each in their own. But no, it was an incredible show. It was my first show of the year. My first show in nearly a month, which is the longest I have gone without going to a show since, the longest I've gone since without going to a show since February of last year. But it was honestly worth the wait. Apes of the State is an incredible band. I have seen them twice now, and they've been beautiful and glorious and wonderful every time. Bard of Baldwin County killed it. My friend got to open, which was so cool. My friend got to fucking open for Apes. Badass. Amazing pit. It went wild. Hello, Check for Charlie. I'm talking about the Ape show. I'm so proud of my buddy for opening the show. He did absolutely incredible, and his birthday's in a couple days. It was wonderful. It was wonderful. Picture from the Ape show looked awesome. It was incredible. Shout out to April also for signing my CD that I bought of, What's Another Night. Having your friend open a show sounds like an awesome time. No, 100%. There's this musician in the scene, this folk musician by the band name, artist name of Dumpster Meds, and he is a buddy of mine. We're not close friends, but, like, we message on occasion. He's very cool. He invites me to shows every now and then, so I would call us friends. Distant friends, but friends. And getting to see him open was absolutely badass. He is so cool. And his birthday, I think, is on Friday. Happy early birthday to him. Can't hear the word ape without thinking of the video of someone making faces at an ape in a zoo and ape. I think that sounds like a you problem. And I hate that that's stuck in my head right now. How could you do this to me? But not April. April is a wonderful musician. Not partners in crime, but he'd invite you to the highest? Yeah, probably. Dumpster Meds did such a good job opening the show. And God, the official bard of Baldwin County. New beloved musician that I need to check out more of. I've had them on my radar for a while, but this was the first time I actually listened to them, and holy shit, they're so cool. They are genuinely such a cool musician. I can't find any good photos of them aside of the one that I took. Hi, Lycan, bark bark bite bite. Bark bark bite bite. It was a wonderful, wonderful show. It was an amazing time. It was so worth it. An incredible first show of the year. Like, I'm gonna have trouble topping this one. Unless, like, Pigeon Pit tours again. Or, like, Days and Days comes back. Or, like, I don't know, maybe Friends in Real Life toured or whatnot. It's gonna be really hard to top that show. It was a really, really good one. I'll give you a palate cleanser. You think of a gorilla spinning in a circle? Thank you, Astro. Thank you. the mental palate cleanser. I will say, I got home from the show at about like 4 in the morning, 3 in the morning. I passed out immediately. I was dead tired, and I'm still dead tired, but it was worth it. I managed to do it without exhausting myself so much that I couldn't function today, at least. Yeah, the official bard of Baldwin County would recommend them. They're super cool. Their music went fucking hard as shit. I know so many folk punk musicians. If you need folk punk recommendations, I can give you some. Can I point you to a wonderful trans woman called X30 Fingers? Very, very cool Florida-based folk punk artist. I got some, not really folk punk, but really cool. I got some Paul Petrel for ya. I know so many folk punk artists. Hello, Mix Maxi, bark bark fight fight. Lovely to see you. I got this band called Sticky Steve. Sticky Steve is pretty cool. I haven't talked enough about Sticky Steve. Sticky Steve is cool. Point being, I know a lot of folk punk musicians if anyone needs recommendations. I already follow them, damn it, but I'll take any all recommendations. X30 Fingers is very cool. I don't know if I'm friends with Taryn. Taryn being the lead of X30 Fingers. I don't know if we're friends. But she, like, initiates conversations with me at shows. And I have her phone number. Shrug? Shrug? X30 Fingers, think we saw an album cover once. Didn't have an astronaut on it. Oh yeah, in These Waning Days of Babylon, yes. That is an X30 Fingers album. I feel like AE could make a game show where we could say, which one of these is not a real folk punk band? I probably could, and it'd be really funny. Do you guys think Trash Bag Ponchos is a real folk punk band or not? From Rid Omega, I don't know if we're friends, but we do kiss a little and they came over Thanksgiving. That's me with, like, so many people, actually. That's me. That's me with so many people. I'm like, damn, I don't know if I'm, like, close with this person, I say, having kissed them in a mosh pit. True fucking story. Trash Bag Ponchos is a real folk punk band. I don't know if they're still active. Listen, I don't know how to read interpersonal relationships. Sometimes you just kiss someone in a mosh pit. It's not that weird. It's not that weird, guys. Sometimes you just kiss someone in a mosh pit. Yeah, I don't know why y'all are so surprised. Come on. I don't know why y'all are so surprised. Life of an aromantic. I can kiss people in a non-romantic way. I can kiss people in a sexual way. I have listened to some Stick and Poke. I wish they were still active. I haven't kept up with them, or I haven't like listened to too much of their stuff, to be honest, in part because they're not active anymore. But I should anyway. I've been too focused on like artists I can go to shows for, because I'm like obsessed with going to shows. But I should listen to more Stick and Poke. Making up platonically for the bit. Friend of ours kissed lots of people. It can be platonic. It can be platonic. It can also be like sexual. You know. You know. The most surprising part is you telling us, not the act itself. What do you mean? It's another night of mostly lurking. No worries. You take care of yourself, Mix Maxi. Do what you need to do. You are loved. You are loved. I'm pretty open about, like, the fact that I get bitches. This isn't a closed secret. I don't talk about, like, specific people or events or acts. I do sometimes. I will occasionally allude to specific people. And if those people are listening, they know who they are. But I'm pretty open about the fact that I get bitches. I say in the most affectionate way possible. I'm hot as shit. Like, I don't know what else I need to say. Well, you do share some snippets, you don't always talk about it, so the moderate gas of tea is more surprising than you getting more bitches. Yeah, fair. Understandable. Inactive love life you've been grazed with, something along those lines. Dude bro, AE arc incoming? Nah. I'm chilling. You're right, I don't talk a whole lot about it. Most of it stays, to myself, but every now and then I'll let a snippet fly. Sometimes, most if not all trans guys be hot. It's just the fact of, like, most trans people, like, I say this, I should note that I say this as someone who is very attracted to androgyny, but, like, most trans people are hot. I'm just saying. You're the third, aromantic I know that pulls bitches. Real. You're good, you're chill. Real. Listen, I'm aromantic, I'm not asexual. Hee hee. Hee hee. Most of it is T-shot gossip. Yeah. I find NBs to be especially hot. God, chat. Okay. I am gonna pull up that one picture I took of the official bard of Baldwin County. So chat. This right here is the official bard of Baldwin County. 1, gender envy. 2, hot as fuck. Can I just say, extremely attractive. And also, low-key, kinda gender envy. I love just it's a very, very androgynous style. And I fuck with it hard. I fuck with it heavy. Amazing druid. They're really cool. I think they use they them pronouns. I'm not entirely sure on that. I could not find pronouns actually listed anywhere. I did look. But oh, the guitar says thank you kindly. They are from Alabama, and you can tell from the way they speak. They're from Alabama. I used to have a southern accent that I kind of lost while voice training. Because I voice trained before starting HRT. I used to have a southern accent with a lot of very specifically North Florida and Alabama like elements to it. So it's a very homey voice that they have. But yeah, I couldn't find their pronouns anywhere, but based off their about section on their website, I'm pretty sure they use they them. Your accent shows through a little more in private VC, I've noticed. Does it? Do I talk more southern? Does some of the southern sneak through in private VCs? To be fair, I do actually talk different on and off stream, but it's more just a matter of I project my voice on stream more. So I do speak a little bit lower and a bit more projected and a bit more clearly. I didn't realize that the Southern was more obvious in my voice off stream. That's really funny. The friend private VC call it was relatable. Real. Slowly picking back up my accent and trying to figure out if I want it or not. Valid, valid. Nah, when I say I could tell they're from Alabama, I mean they have a Southern accent and they talk Southern. The back of their car, the back of their guitar says "Thank you kindly." Get your head out of the gutter, all right? Get your head out of the gutter. But anyway, both gender envy and also hot. Like I don't know if this comes off the wrong way. I apologize if it does, especially to any of the trans people in the audience. But I've always really adored and envied the kind of androgyny that is possible in that direction, if that makes sense. This is the official bard of Baldwin County. I've always really enjoyed like that kind of androgyny. Like I got a lot of me figuring out my gender came from like femboy TikTok and whatnot, and seeing like that style of androgyny. It really appeals to me, and I hope I can achieve something adjacent to it one of these days, you know? Does that make sense at all? I hope that makes sense. It's a style of androgyny that I've always really appreciated. I want to be someday a boy with long hair, you know? Someday I want to be a punk boy, a folk punk boy with long hair. That's my eventuality, I hope. Feel the same way about trans masking androgyny as trans time, to be honest, and that's real as shit. I think oftentimes, like, because there is something to be said for the ways in which HRT impact us, that those are kind of different styles of androgyny that are easier to achieve, and there is absolutely a middle ground there, and it is possible to cross that boundary and whatnot. I don't want anyone to get, like, doomerish about, like, oh, I can't ever achieve this, but there is obviously, like, types of androgyny that lend themselves more towards, especially in, like, early transition folk. In either direction. And I hope we can all get to the form of gender expression we eventually aspire to, but like I think that's real as shit. I've met a lot of trans femme people who like, oh, I wish I could express in a tomboy way, and I hope y'all get there in time. Genuinely, I hope y'all get there. And I hope I eventually achieve this bullshit here, because that's gender as fuck right there. Especially in early transition over that HRT, yeah. This right here, this is gender as fuck for me. My hair preferences, total opposite from gender norms. Valid as fuck. Valid as fuck. Listen, I have like very fluffy, curly ginger hair, and I want to be able to rock long hair someday. I want to get to a point where like my presentation and whatnot is mask enough, gets red mask enough that I can like wear my hair long without question someday. And we'll get there, all in due time. Was watching a recent K-Town music video, is look right now is kind of goals. I have not kept up with like anything Cave Town has done in the last like 5 years. What's Cave Town been up to recently? Long and curly hair is lovely, I agree. Love me Andrew redhead. Yeah. Yeah. Nah. Cave Town, I enjoyed Cave Town a lot in the past. I haven't kept up with anything recently. You still think we wanted to be hyperfemme? Definitely wanted to lean more into side androgyny, very least so we can be more fluid on the fly. Also valid, also valid. Listen, gender is a fuck. Gender is an absolute fuck. And I hope we all eventually get to achieve our goals and dreams. But nah, please y'all check out the official bard of Baldwin County. My god, incredible music, incredible tunes, and just really good fucking vibes. Really good fucking vibes out of them. They seem super cool. I bought a t-shirt and a patch off of them, and I really like their energy. I really like their energy. Androgyny is cool. I like androgynous people. I'm like fighting the urge to play songs live right now because then I have to go through the whole endeavor of like muting and unmuting the background noise. And it's boring for the VOD, but throw that gender in a blender. Gotta be some kind of pants with zippers that turns into a skirt, right? Probably, but I don't know much about. Victorian style FM is what I really like, but also like a 50s style clothes too. Valid, valid. I'm just punk all around. My style is punk. To the ends of the earth. Drops a new album tomorrow, I think, actually. I might have to listen to it. I haven't like heard any new Cave Town in a hot minute. I'm like a gender chameleon at work, reliable dude at home, lazy gamer girl, real. Listen, do what you gotta do, live your best life. Whatever helps you fucking get by. Wanna be a tomboy with a big coat and cute. Alright then. Alright. Alright then. Nah, it was a good show. It was a really, really good show. Throw those genders into a high-temperature smeltery, melt them into gender fluid, then cast them onto a solid gender alloy to forge tools and armor out of. Big coat versus big pant. I'm personally a big pant enjoyer, I think. I think, like, for my own style, I'm more of a big pant enjoyer. I do have my battle jacket, and I love my battle jacket, but it's very slim and cropped. My pant are the big ones with the big silhouette, you know? I love big pant. Since Yorkshire-based band recommendation of the day, 3 different bands, Bradford-based post-punk called Southern Death Cult, Party Day, and Durham called I'm definitely gonna mispronounce this. Voorhees? Thoughts on cargo pants. I would exclusively wear cargo pants if I could get away with it. I would exclusively wear cargo pants if I can get away with it. I need to invest in actual clothes eventually, but I'm used to working jobs with uniforms that kill me, so I'm not outside after work. Understandable, understandable. I totally get it. You're alright. For me though, like, being more expressive and experimental with my style and allowing myself to be more overtly punk most of the time has really been nice. I like it. Who's stopping you from getting away with it? The fact that I have IRL responsibilities that sometimes require me to not wear cargo pants. I love cargo pants. No, I'm sorry, Sangheli. Good luck. I hope you're able to get therapy eventually. That's fucked. I've always hated how, like, when it comes to any kind of medical care, but especially, I've noticed this especially with therapists, a lot less with other forms of medical care, but especially with therapists. If you're late, you get a whole big late fee. If they cancel 5 minutes before the session, not your fault, or not their fault, they couldn't help it. Like, I understand that things happen, especially when people are in, like, the work from home environment. I had a therapist at one point who, part of why I stopped seeing her was her internet was so bad, at least once a month she would cancel a session because the internet went out, and sometimes we would have multiple disconnects in the middle of a session, and I'm like, what the fuck? How are you working in this? How are you in a work from home environment and you can't even maintain good enough internet for a fucking call regularly? What the fuck? What the fuck? But no, it does piss me off. It's particularly an issue I've noticed with therapists when, like, they're really unreliable with canceling sessions. I understand life is hard, but Christ. On a big therapy, don't use BetterHelp. Fuck BetterHelp! Fuck them! They're terrible. Horrible service. So great for your job, what do you mean your internet is shit? Literally. Literally. Next round of Yorkshire-based punk bands, I'm gonna find bands from the hardest names to pronounce just to annoy the ARC. I'm doing my best! I'm doing my best out here. No cost to me, had a medical problem. What is BS? Work not giving me any hours. I'm so sorry. Hang on in there, Singhelly. There's nothing I can do, but I hope things get better, genuinely. The Fops is trying. I am, in fact, trying. I'm doing my fucking best out here, okay? Okay? I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'm sleep deprived, and I have been noticing that, weed does leave me with a bit poor memory and information processing for the next, like, couple days. Hopefully I should be fine by tomorrow, but I am noticing that. Because I did smoke a joint yesterday. Only one. I only had the one. But, you know. Hee hee. Hee hee. Just the one. I'm doing my best. Understand, Kelly, just do what you gotta do. I'm sorry, I can't do anything to help, but good luck. Genuinely. Start hunting for another job at that rate. My first psychiatrist session is next week. I hope it'll go alright. I hope it does, genuinely. I hope it does. Good luck. Mental health here can always be a little bit hit or miss. He's trying, and I respect you're trying. Just find it funny how, Yorkshire is known as a place with distinct and easy to remember names in the UK. Americans struggle with pronunciations far more than southern places. I mean, I think that has to do with, like, regional dialectal differences. American dialect and, like, you know, British dialects are pretty meaningfully different. Enjoy the THC. Just be safe, Singhelly. Try not to rely too heavily on substance use. Hang on in there. Hang on in there. That's about all I can say right now. That's about all I can say. But no, I apologize if I stumble over my words a little bit more than usual tonight. I do apologize. I'm not hungover anymore, but you know, a long evening of moshing and hanging with friends will do that sometimes. It was 100% worth it, though. I had the time of my life. No regrets. Holy fucking shit, I just looked down and saw that, we are about to experience a near record low temperature-wise in the state. What the fuck? What the fuck? That reminds me that I need to keep working on that album. Oh wait, okay. I need to look at the weather forecast, like, now. I need to look at the weather forecast. What do you mean? What do you mean we're under a frost advisory again? Hello, Sabine. Bark, bark, bite, bite. I'm trying to get some info. Freeze watch until... Okay, there's gonna be a freeze... Yeah, there's a frost advisory on Friday. Terrifying. Can I get a forecast for the next few days? Yeah, because 55's not that... We've gotten... Oh... Chat... It's gonna hit 32 on Friday. It's gonna hit 32. That's near record lows. That is very close to record lows. Like coldest ever recorded around here. Hello, good humored gaming. My wife is gonna die from the cold. Me, I'm also going to die from the cold. Why are we about to get record lows in fucking Florida? Yeah, 32 is actually cold. I start freezing when it's fucking 60 out. How am I don't know how I'm gonna survive that. I'm not built for this weather. I'm not built for this. I'm not built for these conditions. Why do we get snow-worthy weather after Xmas? Because Christmas is literally like the very beginning of winter. That's the very beginning of winter. I can't handle the cold. Time to draw 8, you Frostpunk AU, goddammit. I need to go find a cuddle pile. I might have to like drive to Daytona so I can like huddle up with some friends, because Christ, I'm not gonna live through that shit. The insulation here is not good. It's pretty bad. For that your county uses a different system of measurement for heat? Yes. Cold weather is the only way I escape the heat. Hang in there. I mean, Friday I am actually planning on being elsewhere, but you know. I'm going to die on Friday, apparently, is what I'm learning. I think, because I was actually planning on going to a show that night, so I'm gonna be out around the hours where it's gonna be that cold, like out walking and shit. I might abandon my normal punk fit and go with my alternative fit that's a little bit warmer so that I can wear like my fucking leather jacket and shit. Here it's just wet right now. Oh, it's been wet all day. It has been raining all day. And to be honest, I'm not mad about it. It's been very nice. The rain, it's been very cozy sitting here at my computer, trying to work on videos, and by which I mean playing Vintage Story, while listening to the rain outside. I'm starting to understand, like Vintage Story is finally starting to click for me, and I'm starting to get why people like it so much. I'm starting to understand. What do you mean cold weather and leather is a choice? It's the thickest fucking, it's the thickest jacket I own. The particular leather jacket I'm talking about, this is like a 1980s, fucking, like, thick leather bomber jacket. Hope you survive the cold. Thank you, Sabine. I'm gonna fucking need it. Christ, I am terrified. I am terrified. Leather turns to iron in the cold. I don't have any better jacket for this. I don't have any other options. At the very least, it's not sub-zero temperatures. Give me a second. What's, I mean, that's freezing temperature. That's cold enough to snow. To be fair, I've been wearing leather a fair bit in this winter period. Southern climate's getting ruined. Hope you're doing okay in it. I'm trying to survive. It's been very interesting watching how much colder the winters have gotten. The winters did not get this cold when I was a kid, chat. The winters did not get this cold when I was a kid. Hope you enjoy Singhelly. Yeah, 32 is freezing. Winter is coming, winter is coming. Maybe you'll see snow for the first time. I'm gonna be so mad if I see snow for the first time on Friday. I'm gonna be so mad if that's my first experience with snow. Actually, it'd be kind of magical given the greater context. I'm gonna be at a punk show, but whatever. If you have some kind of head covering, would recommend bringing it. I can say what I've got. I'd have to dig around. I really hate hats. They get in the way of the horns in the ears. They're a terrible sensory experience, but you know. I'll see what I've got. I never wear like anything on my hair. I can't stand it. I can't stand it. No thanks. I will freeze to death first, but I'll see what I got. Most of your heat dissipates out of your head. You gotta have winter hat or cap of some kind. See, I have never lived somewhere where it gets this cold before. This winter has been, like, the coldest I've ever experienced. I have never experienced a winter this cold before. This is brand new to me. Temperatures this cold, this is not shit that I'm used to dealing with, even during, like, you know, cold fronts. This is unprecedented for me. I've never experienced cold like this. Singhelly, everyone, okay. The whole, like, oh, the weather's so random, we can switch on a dime shit. Everyone from everywhere says that. It's not a particularly unique trait of anywhere. Everyone fucking says that about everywhere. Specifically, the back of your head is like your body's thermostat. Keep it warm, you'll be surprised. Noted. Noted. Fingers, toes. So here's the issue. One of my little autistic quirks. I hate wearing things on any of my extremities. I hate wearing gloves. I hate wearing socks and shoes, but you know, I have to put up with socks and shoes to be a fucking member of society. I hate hats. I hate anything covering my extremities. I can wear shirts. I can wear jackets. I can wear pants. But the autism fucking just stains anything on my hands, anything on my feet, anything on my head. Can't. I hate it. It's horrible. Even fingerless gloves, no, I would not be able to do that. It's like the feeling of having things between my fingers, so unless they were chopped off before it hit my fingers, I would not be able to. It's an autism thing for me. It's an autism thing for me. It sucks. No, that's not what I'm saying, Pyro. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that I have autism very specifically around my fucking extremities. That's not even close to that. It's not even close to that. Pocket strat it is, then pocket strat, absolutely. Hands always in my pockets as is. That's easy. My hands always find their way into my pockets. I'll get my mom to make you completely fingerless gloves. Half joke, I mean, I won't stop you. Autism is stored in the fingies, yeah. That's why I eat them, to become more powerful. Please put your fingers to the bars of my enclosure. I promise I can be trusted. They're the source of my power. Yes, I just have that shit locked and loaded. I have that shit ready to go. Jail for 1,000 winters. No! If no head pet, why so head pet shaped? Because it's literally one of my fucking boundaries. Because it's Fanatic Pharaoh, because it's literally one of my fucking boundaries. Because I'm extremely touch averse and makes me uncomfortable. Guys, what crime did he do? Probably biting someone. Probably biting someone. I'm a very touch averse person. I don't like being touched without my consent. Part of the whole bit is that people can, like, you know, people are gonna threaten to hug me or touch me or whatnot. I'm like, I bite you. But the reason I don't have a head pat redeem is straight up, like, I'm very touch averse and I need to have the ability to bite back. You know? If people are gonna joke or threaten or whatnot to touch me, I need to be able to say, haha, no, I bite you. Because that's kind of like the way I deal with it. Where is the be bitten redeem then? Do I not bite you guys enough? Do I not bite you enough? Also, hello, playing Bark Bark Bite Bite. Do you know the head pat on your model isn't a meat space head pat? Why would that change anything? I'm still uncomfortable with it. Okay, and it's still uncomfortable for me. You know? Like, yeah, it's not a physical head pat coming through my screen and caressing my head. But that's still what you're kind of imagining you're doing and trying to impart the feeling of. You know? It's still intended to impart the feeling of and like the serotonin associated with physical touch, and I don't get that. It's not a positive thing for me. you know? It is a thing that makes me uncomfortable, and if it's a thing that makes me uncomfortable, even if I acknowledge that it might be irrational in most people's eyes, I'm not gonna do it, you know? I got my limits. Like, it's I don't have a whole lot of boundaries. I don't have many. And this doesn't apply to, like, any kind of fan work or fan content. But, like, I don't like people touching me, you know? And, oh, a head pat on the model? Well, that's still, like, a representation of me on the screen that's, like, tracking my face, and you're imparting the illusion of touching me. And I'm still not comfortable with that, you know? Part of the banter is that I have the ability to say no. You know? I have the ability to say, haha, no, fuck you. And it becomes silly fun, etc. But yeah, I don't want one. I actually, it's a thing that I ask collaborators as well. I've been in a lot of collabs where, you know, the collaborators have head pat redeems. And they will, like, automatically set it up to go over my PNG, and I have to be like, hey, please don't do that. And I've had that be fucking ignored, and have had to have conversations after streams with people being like, hey, I'm being serious. Disable that shit. It's for the same reason people don't have a punch the streamer redeem, because it's not real doesn't mean it's not still not undesirable. Yeah. And I mean, for some people that might be within their comfort zone, but you know, it's not within mine, and that's okay. I feel like I'd be more inclined to add a punch the streamer redeem than a head pat. Consensual violence. Consensual violence. Drone strike the streamer redeem. 10 seconds of moshing redeem. I need to find more things that I can, like, justify pulling out the 3D model with the full body tracking for. Because, like, I love it. I love the full body tracking. I think it's super fun. But I need to figure out more things that I can, like, justify pulling that out for. I paid a lot of money for those trackers in that model, and I need to get my use out of them. But I haven't had ideas of, like, cases wherein it can really add something to the stream. Because most of the time, I'm just going to be sitting at my desk, and I cannot stand for long periods of time. So I've been struggling a lot figuring out solutions for that. It's not a VR model, it's a 3D model. I used it for my full body 3D live music stream, where I had full body tracking and was, like, walking around on a virtual stage playing music. Hello, Highline, bark bye bye. But I need to find more cases I can use it. Where was I going with this? Where was I going? Oh yeah, I wanted to show y'all how I two-step using that. One of these days I want to show you how I two-step. One of my ideas for a VTuber model would eventually have a redeem where my head gets blown off. That'd be difficult to do, but really funny. I'm in a situation when there's a cutoff. Anything below that cutoff, very touch averse, but anything above that cutoff, visual touch is a big part of how I show affection, and that's totally fair. And that cutoff can change in context. Live your best life. When I get one of those weird chairs you lean over, I'm too gay to sit, hurts my ribs and hips. I'm in a regular fucking office chair. I'm in a regular ass office chair. Hello, Missing Project. How have you been? Bark, bark, bye, bye. My voice is messed up, but I'm fine. I mean, real and valid. Real and valid. Like it needs enrichment, you're coming thrifting? Hell yeah! I want to go thrifting. I haven't gone thrifting in so long. Bark, bark, bite, bite. Bark, bark, bite, bite. What if we add a redeem where you get sunglasses? That's I could do that in 30 seconds. Give me a second. Give me a second. That's a really quick thing. That's what I wanted. It's a little bit broken. Don't worry about it. It's really easy. It's that simple. Add a redeem to even another eye patch on the other eye? No. I've already explained why I don't have more model redeems to y'all. I've explained this before. I've explained this. The answer quite literally being the fact that, like, it would be really difficult. Can you get them off? No, not within VTube Studio. I'd have to take them out of the software to do that. That would take me like fucking 30 minutes to do. Bark, bark, bite, bite. What if there was a redeem to summon evil icon? I mean, there is a redeem to summon icon. There is a summon icon redeem. And he has been active again recently. It's always a little bit hard to judge or to know when's a good time. Oh no, not my internet. Internet, please work. But like, there is a redeem to summon icon. That exists. I don't know what you mean by evil icon. Icon is the evil one. Am I? I don't think I'm evil icon. Am I evil? Niara gave me a meowing vocal stem. Used to have her stream on during my freeze uni job. I would just get used to her random noises. Real as fuck. I love when people have gained vocal stems off of me. It's a great honor as a streamer. Still working on that. Takes a surprising amount to summon that little devil intentionally. He's a bastard. And it's so much effort having to fucking clean up after him. What about just a redeem that's a clip? I'm not making a redeem for that. I should turn I'm not making a redeem for that into a soundboard thing on Discord. I have one Discord soundboard and it is the iconic gay sex clip. Your shadow icon Sonic, am I? I need to make more soundboard stuff. Y'all deserve more soundboard stuff. Punks are never evil, we just look at real. I think Icon's the evil one. You should make a I'm not making a redeem for that redeem. I should when I hey guys, fucking very opportune moment to plug. When I get my Steam or my Stream Deck, which there is a Stream Deck currently up on my throne. When I get my Stream Deck, after people donate about $80 more to my Stream Deck, when I eventually get it, I could like fucking set up a button that just does that for me. Oh, it's literally just a audio clip wherein I yell gay sex with a reverb filter. That's the entire audio clip. The entire, one sec, I can find it. Give me 2 seconds. Where's the soundboard thing? How do I access the soundboard in my own fucking Discord? Soundboard. That's the thing. That's it. That's all it is. Thank you for the hype train. What the fuck? But no, there is a Stream Deck XL up on my throne. There's like $80 left on it, and when I get that, I can add a bunch of cool hotkey stuff. Potentially even some sound effects. There is also, by the way, first of all, I added more ramen on here because I'm running out of ramen. And also, there's a banjo, and I really want to get this banjo. Honestly, when this gets like half funded, I'll probably just cover the rest of it myself because I want it. I might just cover the rest of it myself once it's like half funded, because I want that banjo so bad. I want it so bad. Vine Boom plays. Say Gex in the distance, just a distant gay sex. You know, but you'll understand. You understand me, chap. Big stretch. AE banjo stream. I want to learn the banjo so bad. I want to learn the banjo so bad. Thank you for the bits. I appreciate it. I like how that normally hype trains require like a lot of subs to be gifted in order to trigger. It's really funny having a hype train trigger with like fucking nothing. The 2% level 1 hype train is fucking hilarious. I've never seen it that low before. I think how much you heard, but the US might be bombing Iran again, and Europeans are actively destroying troops, putting troops to Greenland to ward off the US. Jesus Christ. I will be honest, I have not checked the news since yesterday morning. Thank you for keeping me in the loop. I'm gonna have to go dig into that. I will definitely admit I have not been on the top of my game. I need to figure out, actually, what I want to do for YouTube Shorts for the near future. I'm not sure really what my path is with future YouTube Shorts. There's a lot of things that I want to do, that I want to talk about, but that are just really big subjects that are hard to address. And I've been trying to find I've been trying to find things that feel achievable to work on, especially while I'm working on my next long form video. We'll figure it out. You take one day off, and now 2 new wars starts, it feels like. Yeah, no, that's the thing. Whenever I don't look at the news, something new and big happens, and I have to find out about it live on stream. But I need to figure out, like, what I want to focus on in my upcoming YouTube Shorts, because I want my commentary to mean something, and I haven't really known what to cover. Like, videos longer than shorts, you can explain things. And see, the thing is, long-form videos take me 6 months to make. I've been trying to release a second video essay for over 6 months now. Long-form videos take me fucking forever to make because I write really slowly. But yeah, I've been struggling to find new things to talk about in my YouTube Shorts. Not because there aren't things to talk about, but because every issue either feels too big for me to have, like, I don't have the experience needed to cover it. Or I find out about too late and it's too, like, time sensitive. So I've been trying to figure out what direction I want to take my YouTube Shorts. But we'll figure it out. Next video essay, by the way, good progress is happening. I've been making very meaningful progress on the script for the next video essay. We're currently at about 2,500 words, which is about half the length of I Don't Regret Girlhood. I think this one's gonna be a little bit shorter than I Don't Regret Girlhood. We'll find out when we get there. But it's been very, very good progress. I'm really happy with how it's turning out so far. I'm having a little bit of trouble with, like, bridging the sections together, but we're working on it. Progress is progress, and we happily accept progress. Bark bark my might. We live in interesting times, please make it boring, thanks. I would like for, like, you know, the general political state of both my world and yours to calm down, absolutely. I kind of want my personal life to get interesting again. I kind of miss when there was weird shit happening to me all the time, you know? Like when I was getting doxxed and getting investigated by the FBI and starting HRT and shit, I kind of miss when life was that eventful. Things have been moving too slow in my personal life recently. Verizon services were down for hours today. I was without data for 6 hours. That explains a lot, actually. That explains the conversation I had earlier. Thank you so much for the hype train that got 35 bits. Literally, that's it. What the fuck? No, I kind of want interesting... Like life's been so slow recently. I kind of miss when my personal life, it felt like things were moving quickly. It felt like I had more direction. I need more things to be happening to me content-wise, specifically, you know? I need to be more productive and putting out more projects and doing more ambitious shit. I want it. I want it. In other news, I got my Twitch payout today, which is very exciting. Hello, Hunter! Bark bark my bite! I got my Twitch payout today, which is very exciting. Hello, Vextigal! And I've been trying to decide what I want to do with it. I don't say this to brag, but it is something I'm incredibly thankful for. Always. Every bit of money that I get out of content creation means the world to me. The fact that I'm able to make anything at all off of this is really fucking cool. I got about $730 out of December, which, you know, just dropped in my account today. And fucking hell. That's not livable yet. But holy shit, I feel like I'm getting even closer and closer to a point where this might one day be livable. And I don't expect it to become livable. It is a goal of mine to go full-time this year, which is going to require me to grind and work really fucking hard on content for all my platforms to try and like build my presence and whatnot. But it makes me hopeful that one day I will be able to do this full-time. It makes me really hopeful that it's something I can do. Have you considered gambling? No. I hope that it's something that is in my future, and I thank you all for helping make it possible. Please. This makes me imagine a fanfiction where A is in a love triangle with the FBI somehow. Listen, if you want to write the fanfiction, then write the fanfiction. I'm just saying. We've been talking about the Greenland situation a fair bit today because the British Marines are currently doing an exercise in Norway, and there's a lot of chatter about the exercise being cut short so the Marines can join the anti-Trump deployments in Greenland. This shit is fascinating on a level that I don't really know how to speak to, you know? I will admit that, like, international politics and navigating that is definitely a weak point of mine. My political knowledge and as well as my historical knowledge is very America-centric, and I recognize that as a flaw that I need to work on and address, though that is increasingly hard with how difficult I am. Or with how busy I am, rather. That's increasingly difficult with how busy I am. But I definitely acknowledge that, like, international politics and whatnot is a weak point of mine that I want to put more study and time into. I don't know how to adequately speak to this shit, aside of, Trump needs to shut his fucking ass mouth and stop, threatening other countries. Imperialism is a force of absolute fucking evil. Imperialism is a force of fucking evil. Fuck that shit. Imperialism is a force of fucking evil, and that is what Trump is trying to do right now. It is very evident to me that a lot of what Trump is doing is an effort to do imperialism again, to spread influence of the US, by force. It is an idealization of old colonialist and imperialist action. Fuck that shit. It's terrifying. It's horrible. It is such an abuse of power. Of power that is not fucking earned or deserved in any capacity. It is just disgusting. It's also really stupid because he sacrificed all power to do so. Oh, absolutely. Oh, absolutely. It'd be one thing if he had a genuine reason, but he's just doing it for a pissing contest. He's doing it because he wants to be remembered as the leader who, like, brought a bunch of countries, and I think he is doing this for legacy and name remembrance and influence, you know? The MAGAs again, and that again is imperialist bullshit. No, you're good, JM. You're good. I think a lot of it is an attempt to very much try and cement legacy at this rate. That said, I know a lot of people, you know, talk about, you know, waiting for Trump to die. I don't think that's gonna be better. Gonna be dead ass. I don't think that's gonna be better. I think that the unfortunate fact is that the best option is, you know, no, I shouldn't get too into that on Twitch. I shouldn't get too into that in here. I've talked about this pretty extensively in the Discord, but I fear what alternatives exist in that situation, you know? Redacted, literally, exactly. The U.S. was Europe's greatest defense against imperialism, and now he's imperialisming against Europe. In his attempt to spread American influence, he's actively dismantling the system of good politics that was intrinsically built for the U.S. to have influence over other countries. Literally, he is absolutely destroying any soft power that the U.S. had. For people who are not aware, soft power is a form of political influence that exists aside of military force. When we talk about soft power, one of the biggest examples we can point to is Japan. Japan, a country with a very messy history, that has regained a lot of influence, especially on a cultural level, via soft power. Via their pop culture influence and their trendiness and whatnot. Japan has utilized a lot of soft power to get back in the good graces of, you know, the rest of the world. Trump has sacrificed a lot of the US's soft power in the last while, and greatly worsening any opinion of the US, especially from the rest of the Western world. Which is scary. The US has always been a you know, very powerful nation for a lot of reasons, and again, a lot of that's unearned. Fuck countries, fuck borders, fuck all that bullshit. But Trump has done so much, not just in this term, in his previous term as well, to absolutely decimate whatever soft power the US had. The world is in a, not unprecedented, but a level of turmoil that we haven't seen in a hot fucking minute. How high does one have to roll to touch the fox's ears? What skill are you rolling? Persuasion, you're gonna need a nat 20 on that. Evasion? That's a bit more, you know, complicated. If your goal is to touch and then get out of the way before I bite you, you can try. I think that's a contested roll at that rate. In the history of international politics, we have seen empires rise and fall. We've never seen an empire actively work against his own hegemon. Yeah. I mean, I don't know enough about history to necessarily say that for sure, but yeah, absolutely. Animal handling? My defense stats are high enough, I'm fine with a bite. Alright. You can try. Wouldn't that be an opportunity attack? Huh. I haven't played D&D in a long fucking time. I'm not sure. It really depends on the specifics here. I fucking... The other day, literally yesterday, as I was like, my friends and I, we got Waffle House after the show, and then we were heading our split ways, and I bite one of them. And another one goes, can I also get bitten? And I'm like, do you want to? I'll bite you. And just like, this is the first time I had met this person, by the way. We had met like fucking 4 hours prior. And they just hold out their arm, and I'm like, hell yeah. Alright, chomp. Apparently they had heard a lot of stories with me. You'd have a D&D campaign for a stream? No. No, I will not be doing that. I have very strong opinions about life. Oh god, what's my internet doing right now? Hello? That's not good. Oh god. Bitrate, please. I hate this because I was having these issues about a year ago as well, and now they're suddenly back. Why the fuck are my internet issues suddenly back after a year? This is very irritating to me. But no, I have very strong opinions about live play content. And I'm of the opinion that most live play content for tabletop RPGs does not work. And I'd be happy to expand on that. I've a very worked out thought process on this. If I ever do live play content for any kind of tabletop RPG, it will not be on my channel, and will be focused around making, it will most likely be a YouTube exclusive. It will not be on my channel, it'll most likely be YouTube exclusive. Alright, so here's the thing with live streams. Alright? Live streaming is inherently an interactive format. The ways in which you interact with a YouTube video and a live stream are extremely different. When you watch a YouTube video, sure, you expect to feel like the creator is in some way speaking directly to you, but to a very different extent than a live stream. In a live stream, if I am not actively talking to chat, if I am not actively reading your messages and engaging with you, in most cases, people leave, because when you come to a live stream, especially one of my size, you are expecting to be directly spoken to, addressed, and interacted with. And when you remove that element from a live stream, you're basically watching a poorly edited YouTube video. When you engage with live streamed content, which is not interactive, you're basically watching a poorly or unedited YouTube video. And I don't know if you looked at YouTube these days, the standard for good content these days is very much like heavily edited, well-produced shit. You don't see unedited Let's Plays making rounds on YouTube anymore these days. Because that's not what audiences want. That's not what people's attention spans are for. Now, you might wonder, you know, how do chatters or streamers get by when they have such big audiences that they can't read chat? At that point, they're engaging in crowd work. They at that point have garnered the ability to make the audience feel like they are being directly spoken to in a live stream format, which is a very hard skill to work. Yeah, my streams are definitely very geared towards chat interaction, but like, I would argue that live streaming as a format does inherently rely a lot more on audience interaction. There are going to be exceptions. There are absolutely going to be exceptions. But for the majority of like live stream content, live interaction, being directly engaged with is part of the deal. This is something I notice a lot in my analytics and a lot of other people's analytics. Collabs perform like shit. When I do a collab stream, I expect to see about 30% reduction in views. Collab content for me, with the majority of other content creators, especially for both streaming, tends to see my viewership go from an average of like 65 to an average of 40. That's just how it goes. Because collab content is inherently less interactive. The way you work around this is by performing in a way that does not isolate the audience. That's what those big streamers are doing, that's what, you know, big collabs do. Aside of the fandom and obsession level shit, there is a certain skill wherein you can develop wherein you are able to perform in a way that does not isolate the audience. This is a thing that you do a lot in like improv. It is a thing you learn when you are engaging in those kinds of spaces. I don't have that skill. It is a skill that I am still learning. It is not a skill that the majority of people on this website have either. There is some live play content that works. Most of the people, though, who are making that successful live play content are people who are already trained comedians or improv actors and or rely on editing to make the content stay engaging. I am of the opinion that most live play content does not perform well because it relies on you having people who know how to engage and entertain in a way that does not isolate the audience, and that is a rare skill to come by outside of like professional entertainers. Hello, Darkwood Rider, bark bark bite bite. Improv and crowd work. Unless collab guest instantly hooks man lose interest, yeah, real. And I don't blame folks. The interactivity with the particular guy or individual you're interested in is kind of like why you're here. I think it does inherently work better live play content on YouTube if you're able to cut things down in entertaining ways, but still requires, you know, the members involved to be good at improv and be good at performing in a way that doesn't isolate the audience. But you're able to cut out a lot of the fluff and a lot of the breaks and pauses. I am not interested in doing live play content for Dungeons & Dragons. Part of it's also because like I I have schizoaffective disorder. My audio and language processing are relatively poor. But even aside of all that, even aside of all of that, I am very much just of the mind that, like, live play content, you need to have people who know what they're doing, and you have to orientate it in specific ways. It is, if I were to ever do live play content, it would most likely be YouTube exclusive, and it would be in an edited format, because I don't believe the majority of live streamed tabletop RPG content is good. You know? But if you play Warlock and chat as your patron, I mean, sure, but I still don't think that'd be interesting. There are obviously, like, exceptions and things you could do to bring up the audience interaction, don't get me wrong, but it's still, at least, like, with my content format, never going to perform nearly as well. It works for large content creators who have that fandom level support, and it works for people who are skilled improvers and entertainers, and neither of those are me. I'd love to be there someday, but, you know, we're not there yet. Someday. And this is not an attack on anyone who makes live play content or enjoys it. I'm glad you do. But I think, like, pay attention to the people you're watching who do live play content, you know? They're probably skilled entertainers. And you can harness those skills. Those skills are worth harnessing for any form of content creation. But live streaming is a format that largely relies on interactivity. The thing that brings a stream beyond just the point of being an unedited YouTube video is the fact that there is direct interaction with the audience. We decide your powers and spells by poll and have to summon us by causing cringe. I hate that. That's hell. I don't know how that would even work. At the end of the day, personal preference and brand direction are important factors as well. Established creators don't often pivot to new forays unless it's been their true passion the entire time. Yeah, which is me with music right now. Me finally picking music up again because it's low-key my true passion. But you know. But yeah, like, I want to get back into tabletop RPGs. I'd be potentially down to, like, join someone else's campaign if it's for content purposes, but I don't think I want it to be live streamed. I don't think I want it to be live streamed. What instruments do you play? I play guitar. I'm trying to learn keyboard. I know how to play French horn, but I don't currently own one. And I am a classically trained singer. I've been songwriting since I was 14. I also play ukulele. That as well, I forgot about that one. And I'm hoping to get a banjo sometime in the coming months. But yeah, I've been songwriting since I was 14, so for a decade now. And I have released projects in the past, though none of them are currently up anymore. Just agree with the statement that there's a lot of tabletop RPG live streams that are bad. I think it's just preference, though, as I love tabletop RPGs in general. See, I also love tabletop RPGs, but, like, chances are the majority of the people that you're watching are, like, professional entertainers. Or people who are very skilled comedians. Hello, Pancake! As an Appalachian, hell yeah to the banjo. I love the banjo. Banjo's very good. And I think if you were to get, like, even for, like, you know, mid-level, my kind of level Twitch streamers together, it would probably still be a pretty rough, fucking experience because of not having the skills that the format kind of requires. People who have built their identity around tabletop RPG content, yeah, who have built up the skills to specifically do that. The majority of the major, like, tabletop RPG pieces of media out there either are a lot more edited than you realize they are, or the majority of the people in there have been comedians in some capacity for most of their lives. Or for many years, anyway. they have background in comedy, and have built up the skills necessary to do this, and also have a lot of good rapport between themselves. Yeah, like, don't get me wrong, I've enjoyed live play content before, but never in a live streamed format, only ever in an edited format. I've enjoyed that kind of content, but only out of skilled comedians, in an edited format. I used to listen to a lot of tabletop RPG podcasts, but yeah. How long would it take chat to give someone an infection in D&D? I don't know. I don't know what that means. There's absolutely cases where it works, but like, I think those are the exception rather than the rule. But it is ultimately a matter of preference. It might be your style of content to watch, even if it's not mine. But it definitely takes like a certain tact, and like what's engageable at a table in private is different than what's engageable in front of an audience. I think it really does require having a good understanding about what it means to perform in front of an audience. The day that I eventually get big enough that I stop being able to keep up with chat, like, my content's gonna look very different. It's already a thing that I notice, actually. Sometimes during the very starts of streams, chat is extremely busy to a point where I cannot keep up and read the majority of messages, and I see people, like, getting frustrated with the fact that I'm not reading their messages, and, like, copy-pasting the same thing over and over again, and then leaving when I don't get to it in time, because that's the nature of it. But I hope one day to get to a point where I'm, you know, big enough to live off of this. But in any case, it's a thing. It's a thing. Yeah. And it's nothing personal, it's just that, like, there's gonna come a day where I can't keep up with the majority of chat if I continue to grow, and I hope people continue to stick by me despite that. But I'm gonna have to learn more crowd work. You would answer if you don't want to, but how does one go from songwriter to streamer about yapping? Oh, I've always been the kind of person who picked up any creative hobby in front of me. I have been drawing for most of my life. I've been songwriting for most of my life. But I think my greatest passion was always for music and live music performance. Except I got hit with really bad burnout a little bit before COVID hit. It was 2019. I stopped creating almost entirely for 2 years. Art, music, etc. The only thing I kept up with was voice acting at that point. But I put everything else down for 2 years. Up until a friend died. At the point where this friend died, I was really into the Dream SMP, so it kind of became my coping mechanism to get through all of the grief. I had been living with this friend at the time, so it was a very heavy loss. Eventually, as I was coming out of this big episode of grief about 3 months later, I kind of came to the realization that I needed to start making shit again. But the thought of trying to get back into songwriting or digital art or any of that felt way too heavy, way too big, too much of a commitment. I had been really into the Dream SMP, I've been really hyperfixated on it, that's kind of how I got through that situation. So I kind of looked at what the Dream SMP did and went, oh, this live streaming thing is the easiest way to produce content. 1 hour of effort and time put in is 1 effort of result, and these people were able to use this to tell meaningful stories and emotionally impact people in the ways that I wish my art would. I'm gonna give this a shot. And nearly 4 years later, here we are. It was supposed to be my way of coping with grief and reconnecting with content creation, and I've very much fallen in love with VTubing as a medium ever since. I believe it brings together the art that I had put down, the music that I had put down in so many ways. And while I would definitely still say that music has always been my deepest passion, I have really come to love live streaming as a form of performance art. Wow, that escalated quickly. So do so many of my lived experiences. My life is an interesting, dramatic time. Normal things don't happen to me. A lot of abnormal things do. My life isn't normal. Get used to it, affectionately. Normal things don't happen to me. They give the curse of scuff pancake. Is the redeem working? One sec. It is! It's not broken! Yay! Been telling Stella to write a book for years now. You might have to be next. I've tried writing books before. I don't have time for that. It has taken me about 6 months to write half a script for my next video essay. Technically, I only started working on this script a month and a half ago, but still. It has taken me a month and a half to write about 2.5k words for my next video essay. I could not write a book. I have severe cognitive disabilities that I know are not all that visible, but are there. I'm cognitively disabled in ways that make writing hard. But yay! We're scuffed now. The abnormal Florida frost creeping up on you, real. Chat, I'm gonna have to go grab my laundry in the middle of stream, and my laundry's outside. I put a load of laundry in the dryer right before starting stream, and like, I gotta go grab that soon. Oh no, it's outside. Exposed to the elements. Exposed to the cold air. Tried writing a book, wrote 15 chapters, and realized, nah, fuck this. That's valid. I would love to write a book. I love storytelling. I love writing. I love character creation, all of that shit. I love world building and conlanging. I would love to write a book. I don't think I can. I think I might be too disabled for that shit. As a writer who has done narrative and some short screenplays, I would love to write your biopic. That'd be badass. Don't freeze, I'll try. Why do Floridians put their laundry outside? Never understood that, because it's not supposed to be cold out there. No, another streamer who writes actual full books and she doesn't release them, just writes the book, prints it, and keeps them for herself. I mean, real badass. Fucking, I hope she's living her best life. That's really cool. I wish I had time for that shit. And wasn't cognitively disabled. I love the world building, but haven't written much story with the worlds yet. I want to get back into world building. It's something that's very near and dear to my heart. One day I'll find the time and capacity to do that shit again. Someday. I'd like to write a book, but I think that's too much for me. Way more of a visual person, so that's why I want to make webcomics. Also valid. Listen, I encourage everyone to pick up whatever creative passion or task interests you. Please. If you are interested in a creative venture, take the time to explore it. See what happens. Worst that could happen is you give it a shot and you decide you don't like it. But the only way you can get good enough at a thing to, you know, complete the thing is to try. I'm animating right now. I'm doing color. Hell yeah, that's wonderful. I'd like to write a book, but I think it'd be too much for me. Oh, I already read that. My brain's not working. No, that's real as shit. If you want to pick up a creative venture, you just gotta jump in headfirst and do it. You don't learn how to do the kinds of shit that I do by not doing them, you know? You don't learn to do the kind of shit that I do on a regular basis without just doing everything in your power to make it work. Interested in learning to draw? Hell yeah. Good luck. I struggle to even get my scientific papers published. That's real. It's hard. It's hard. You gotta start to get good? Absolutely. And you gotta enjoy the process. You know, I haven't had a chance to address this. There was a conversation in chat recently. It was one of the classic moments of a lot of people expressing, you know, oh, they struggle to start tasks because they aren't immediately good at it. And I've realized I don't relate to that, actually. I've kind of had the realization lately that I don't relate to that. I don't have that problem. I don't get the, oh, I'm not immediately good at this, that means I hate it kind of thing. Instead, what I do, very initially, there is a learning phase where everything is super easy to pick up, and I make very fast progress in growing a skill. And then I plateau, because learning gets harder. Because I've learned all of the basic easy shit, and now I have to start learning intermediate and advanced technique. And it doesn't come as easily or as naturally, and that's when I start to hit a wall and struggle. Any wrecks of experience? Not really. My biggest thing is just learn how to hold a pencil properly. I don't know how I learned how to draw. I can't tell you how I learned this shit, being so real. I don't know how I figured it out. I just kind of did. I'm the same way usually. I think it affects more people than a lot of us realize. It's a very particular type of brain worm though. Need to force myself to fix my pencil posture more. Yeah, please learn how to hold a pencil properly for when it comes to drawing. Not even necessarily for the sake of making your art better, mostly just so that you don't get carpal tunnel. I would like you guys to not get carpal tunnel, chat. That'd be very unfortunate. It's not fun. I've never gotten it, but it's not fun. I wonder if that's because a lot of your hobbies have a similar basis and you already have that down. Yeah, it is because I do have a lot of the basic skills that are transferable down. Picking up guitar was extremely easy for me at first because I learned ukulele first. Jesus Christ, I've been playing guitar for how many years now? I've been playing guitar for 6 years. The fuck? I've gotten kind of decent at drawing. It was caused by me not thinking of it as drawing and instead as shitposting. Also valid. Druid, your memes make my day. I hope you know. They still absolutely make my day. There are a lot of times- oh, sorry for hitting the mic there. There are a lot of times as a content creator where I get really insecure about the quality of my content and if I'm good enough, because the numbers are bad for a few nights, or I'm just not content with the quality of my streams. And when I see the silly little memes you create, it reminds me that I'm doing something worthwhile here, and that people enjoy what I'm doing enough to iterate off of it. I think fan content is one of the greatest honors and one of the greatest motivators a creator can receive. That people are inspired by the shit that I do, that people are genuinely inspired by the shit that I do and want to iterate off of it means the world to me. Thank you. You get it for not holding a pencil correctly? I mean, you get it for putting too much strain on your wrist repeatedly and doing a lot of repetitive motions, and learning to hold a pencil properly can help reduce risk of that if you're going to be drawing a lot. A lot of artists end up with carpal tunnel because they draw constantly, and it's going to be inevitable no matter how you hold a pencil, but you can hold a pencil in ways that are going to reduce the strain on your wrist and therefore reduce your risk of carpal tunnel. You know? Like, it's gonna happen no matter what. But you can reduce your risk. And you'll also just get more fluid fucking, like, lines and shit. I get contact high from the fan art you get. I need to release another video essay so my numbers go up and then I feel better about myself again. I get pain in my arm when I draw for too long, 6 hours. Are you holding your pencil right and are you using too much pressure? That's another thing that a lot of artists do. They use way too intense of pressure, and that is a problem. No. I've had a lot of insecurity the past like 6 months that I'm hoping I'll be able to shake off soon when I like release more YouTube content. We're hoping for the best in that particular regard. I'm doing everything I can. Maybe one day I'll start doing creative shit. Right now I'm just trying to start reading books again, and that's real. One step at a time. Whatever your New Year's resolution or goal or aspiration is, that's valid. Keep on fighting. I love Pokemon music so much. Pokemon music goes so hard. I'm talking really fast right now. Why am I talking so fast? I'm just weird. I'm just a freak. That's okay. I'm allowed to be a freak. Hee hee. Hee hee. Personally, it's my creative stuff that gives me a good reason to read the books. Valid. If it works, it works. I don't notice it, that's fair. I feel like I'm stumbling over my words a lot, but that's just a thing that I notice in myself sometimes on the nights after I like go out and overexert myself. But luckily, I have been not doing much today and relaxing. That's totally fine, Pyro. I am glad to be an inspiration. I don't own anything that I do here. Nothing that I do on here I own. You can do whatever the hell you want with it. I'm not gonna stop or prevent you from expressing yourself or using my art in your own ways. The GSC sound font brings me life. Agreed. Agreed. I miss that shit so much. Pokemon music slaps so hard. It's just so cozy and so familiar, and that's definitely part of its appeal, but it also just, it's good. It's straight up good. Arvis is public property, comrade? Literally, literally. I don't believe in intellectual property or any of that bullshit. Fuck that shit. I don't believe in any of that crap. It's kind of hard to put, like, my own identity into public domain or anything, and I don't want anyone to, like, go in straight to try to impersonate me, but, like, I don't believe that I have direct ownership over any of the ideas I talk about or projects I work on or content styles I make or any of my fucking, you know, anything that's happening in my world. So long as I maintain the ability to keep creating my own shit on my own channel as I please, you are free to iterate off of what I have done in whatever ways you want. I have very few boundaries, very few requests. Any Pokemon Ranger music sound here? I don't know about this playlist. This is a random playlist I grabbed. Potentially. Put a copyright on yapping for hours? Yeah, I own the idea of 4-hour just chatting segments, actually. Fuck you. No other streamers are allowed to just chat for longer than 4 hours. If so, you are in violation of my copyright. /J. I love to see what people do with my stuff as well. Hell yeah. It is an honor. It is an honor. Like, I am genuinely... One of the things that keeps me going in the moments where I feel really rough as a content creator. One of the things that keeps me going in those moments is the fan content that you all create. I love seeing this community alive and well. Thank you. I've mentioned, dealing with a lot of insecurity recently, so thank you for continuing to be here and for making this shit worth it, you know? I'm really honored to have the opportunities that I have. Bark, bark, bite, bite. Do, 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 do. You can take my ideas but make it gayer? I mean, can you? I feel like I'm already pretty gay. I haven't made my dreams a reality yet, Druid. My dreams require me to be going full-time, and I'm really intent on trying to make that happen this year. It's one of my New Year's resolutions to make it happen this year, but we're not there yet. I'm gonna fight like hell, though. I promise. So happy you're on your way to making them a reality? I'm trying. I'm really, really trying. I've had a little bit of analytics brain on and off for recent months, but I'm trying as hard as I can. We're gonna get somewhere, I promise. We're gonna get somewhere. Okay. So, I really miss streaming 4 nights a week. Unfortunately, with my current schedule outside of here, it's very rare that I have the opportunity to. That said, pretty soon I'm going to be dedicating like one night a week to vintage story streams. I'm kind of nervous for that, but also really excited. My buddy Stella is going to be hosting a vintage story server with some roleplay elements. I'm very excited to get to play on it more. I'm very excited to hang out on the server and to do fun things on it, and to be able to do some like chill roleplay on the internet with friends. Has the Vintage Story off stream been? Learn more about it. I'm finally starting to feel comfortable with Vintage Story, I think. I'm getting used to the crafting mechanics. I managed to smith my first tools on my own with no knowledge of what I was doing. Which is pretty cool. I figured that out. I figured out the cooking system pretty good. We're sorting things out and I'm really proud of that. I'm excited to mess around more on that server. It's gonna be an interesting, like, different content format that I'm experimenting with. But we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. But aside of that, there's so many games I need to finish. Jesus Christ. Chat, my game list is ever expanding and it's a problem. There is so much shit on my plate, but that's how it goes. I wouldn't have it any other way. I like working on a million things at once, and I'm very, very proud recently to have finally been making progress. The live 2D model for T-Mom is done. I think it's getting debuted tomorrow? I should check on that. Give me 2 seconds, chat. Do you have a blue sky? One moment. Alright, you're the correct one, yeah. Why did I not follow you? That's... bruh. I'm doing my best. You have not posted on Blue Sky in 11 months. Shit. Fuck. Do you have a Twitter? Question mark? 2 seconds are over. How dare you lie to me? Suffer. I lie all the time. New things keep happening before I'm done with old things. It's fucked up. Yeah, like new games keep coming to my attention. New things, new games that I want to play keep happening and whatnot. I keep starting new series. Too many new things are happening all the time. Are you active on Twitter still? Nope. Where does this motherfucker still post? I don't know where the fuck T-Mom still makes content, I'm realizing. Well, T-Mom might be debuting a new model tomorrow, question mark? Question mark? Hytale just snuck up on me, so I might try that, but I haven't touched, Palworld. I'm not touching either of those games for political reasons. I'm avoiding both of those games for political purposes. But no, so fair. Live your best life. Fun game they might be interested in. Rhythm game RPG called Nocturne. I think that's on my list. I think that's been recommended before. Could you just ask? I don't know if T-Mom has a Discord. I'm not sure. I don't see a link to a Discord on Blue Sky. Or not on Blue Sky, on Twitch. In any case. Shrug. Might be, maybe. Hell if I know. What's the political action with Hytale? Oh, the main dev of Hytale defended use of generative AI and has also used generative AI to generate marketing stuff for other projects. Oh, they do? Did not know. Have they announced anything? I'm at the Discord server limit, so I can't join any more servers. Have they announced anything about it? But yeah, the main dev and the guy who owns Hytale, he has defended the use of generative AI and has used it to make marketing materials for his other projects. He also is like still, I know this is a more difficult, complicated situation, but he is still directly profiting off of people continuing to play Minecraft, a game that is funding genocide. But yeah. Yeah, there's a Discord server limit. It's like 200. Yeah. I think it's 100 without Nitro and 200 with Nitro, and I do not have Nitro, so I'm at the server limit right now. Hee hee. But yeah, I will not be checking out Hytale. How many servers can you join on Discord? 100 without Nitro, 200 with Nitro, I believe. I'm at the limit right now. Hee hee, I don't have Nitro because I'm poor. Clear out my server every couple of years. See, I should do that. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. I did not know that there was a Discord server limit when I started joining all my content creator buddy servers, and like I've had a dozen people invite me to their collab servers and shit like that. So I'm in like probably 80 different content creator servers, plus a handful, plus like half a dozen collab servers that specific people have made for their, like, you know, general creator circles, because everyone needs to make a fucking server for everything instead of just like talking to people. And so now I'm at the limit, and I'm scared to leave them, because I'm scared if I leave another content creator's server, they will take that as a sign that I hate them. I am scared that they will take it the wrong way. Like some of these content creators are like people I haven't spoken to in 2 years, but I'm so scared that if I unfollow them, that they will hate me. Not if I unfollow them, but if I leave their Discord servers, that they'll hate me. And I don't want them to hate me. That'd be bad. Interesting Palworld to play with friends. See, Palworld is... I don't know much about the Palworld situation, actually. I just know that it's bad. But you know. But nah, real fucking... do what you gotta do. We're out here playing video games. No, don't at T-Mom. It's generally rude to at content creators directly in their server. It's generally poor form. Make a second Discord account so you can join more servers. That people are going to assume that it's a like spam or scam account pretending to be me, and I don't blame them. People are going to assume that it's like not real, and I don't blame them for that, because I would also assume the same thing. In that situation, I would 100% also assume that it's not real. Should I put a thing in their Discord without adding? I don't know if they're actually public about it. I don't know. Don't bother. I'll message them after stream. I'll reach out after stream. Let me handle it. Palworld devs support AI. They said more recently that they don't. Well, they said their previous game, which was all AI, on discount on Steam, so they're still trying to sell it. Got it. Understood. Make a public announcement the second account is real. I'm still not gonna do that. I'm still not gonna do that. I should just eventually get Nitro. I just don't have money. I'm poor. I'm not gonna make a second thing to join more servers. But hello, Adler Bones. Hope you're doing well. Bark, bark, bite, bite. Icon and I aren't the same person. Big stretch. That's the thing. I don't want to make my life busier is part of it. I don't want to make my life busier and more complicated. I'm weird who likes being added. Okay, Pyro, I'm a content creator. I need you to understand, Pyro, that I get like usually anywhere from 5 to 20 DMs an hour. The reason why I get overwhelmed when I get added is because that number goes up incredibly fast. I usually wake up to a minimum of 20 DMs, as is. I don't like getting added for unimportant things if it's not a direct reply to something I said, because it really overwhelms me because I'm getting a lot of messages and most people like getting added. Most people like getting added and like getting reacted with or interacted with. I am a content creator who talks to a lot of people and has a lot of social demand put on me. The reason I ask people not to at me if it's not important is because I am incredibly busy. Yes, things are up with Hightail. Hightail's main dev has defended the use of generative AI and has used it to do marketing materials for other projects. And that is about to hit any second now. I need to go pick up my laundry. And that is going to hit at some point in the next like 10 to 30 seconds. I need to go grab my laundry. I promise I will be back. I just need to get my laundry during the ad break. Hee hee. Yeah, it's not even me being like I want my friends to DM me and whatnot. I want my fellow content creators to feel comfortable reaching out to me. But having like waking up to 20 DMs and like fucking 30 ats in different servers, I'm like, oh, I don't know which of these are important, because it would take me like an hour to check all of them, you know? It's a lot sometimes. Alright, anyway, be right back. Chat, laundry's been acquired, but at what cost? The fox is cold. I'm gonna be so real. I have feelings on the Nintendo situation, and I don't think chat's gonna like them. I don't think a lot of people in chat are gonna like my opinions on the Nintendo situation. Do I share them? Because I don't think y'all are gonna like it. Alright. I understand why people are mad at Nintendo. Nintendo's not doing anything worse than the rest of the gaming companies out there. In fact, what Nintendo did was basically, like, even the field to a point where they are, basically just doing the same shit as everyone else. It's bad, don't get me wrong. A lot of people are sitting out here talking about how they want to, like, boycott Nintendo over Nintendo's actions, and I do not think it nearly warrants that. The main issues that people are having with Nintendo these days, it is the shift to the game cards, wherein you don't actually have a physical copy of the game. Yeah, it sucks. It absolutely sucks. Don't get me wrong, absolutely sucks. But that is industry standard. It has been industry standard for years, and Nintendo is kind of the only exception in it. Technically, they weren't the only exception, it's just that they had no means of actually shutting you down until very recently. Hello, Incineroar fan, how are you doing today? If people are mad about the fact that, like, the Nintendo game cartridges are just a license to play a game now instead of, like, you know, an actual game that you now own permanently, guess what your Steam games are? Every game you buy on Steam, you don't own, you just own a license to play, because that is the model of, video game sales and the majority of digital media. And that is a problem? Yes. It is a problem with the entire gaming industry. And I think it is a little bit shallow to get mad at Nintendo specifically when this is a problem with the entire industry. If you're mad at Steam for this, or sorry, if you're mad at Nintendo for this, why are you not mad at Steam? You know? The other big thing that I see a lot of people talk about is the lawsuits. The patents that Nintendo tried to make regarding, like, video game tech. One, you don't know how to read legalese. I've watched a lawyer break down the patents. They're not nearly as severe as anyone thinks they are, because you don't know how to read legalese. Two, again, industry standard. This is industry standard. This is extremely normal within the gaming industry. This is just what gaming patents look like. They tend to be for relatively way more specific than you probably perceive if you aren't reading legalese. But they tend to like patenting tech like this. That is literally what every gaming company does all the time. Anytime they release a new game with new tech that hasn't already been patented. If you're gonna be mad at Nintendo for that, you need to be mad at, like, every single other gaming company. It sucks, don't get me wrong. It is literally standard. And I'm also of the opinion that actually the new Pokemon games don't look that bad. I don't get what people are complaining about. But yeah. There's also the fact that they're not suing ICE over their use of Pokemon given the shit they've done to people over piracy. They're probably scared of the US government. Being so dead ass, Nintendo is probably scared that if they say anything, they're going to get banned from sale in the US, and I can't entirely blame them for that. You know? Hello, Dragdun, bark bark bye bye. And I'm just saying, none of this even, like, rivals in comparison, because I've met so many people who are like, oh, I'm boycotting Nintendo for the shit they've done, which again, they're just kind of meeting the standards of the rest of the gaming industry and kind of catching up in badness to the rest of the gaming industry. Don't get me wrong, it's bad, but also capitalism is fucking evil, and the root of this problem is capitalism and systemic issues within the industry that cannot be changed without uprooting the entire fucking gaming industry. But how do I say? Oh, my brain died for a moment there. I'm trying to find the words. But I've met a lot of people who were like, oh, I'm boycotting Nintendo, but they are boycotting Microsoft for doing actual fucking genocide? Like, that's the thing that pisses me off the most. The people who are like boycotting Nintendo for catching up in being consumer unfriendly to the rest of the gaming industry, but they're not fucking boycotting Microsoft for participating in actual fucking genocide. That's the shit that pisses me off. That's the shit that pisses me off. But yeah, my entire point being, I don't think anything going on with Nintendo is nearly as bad as a lot of people are saying. My stance on the gaming industry overall is I just hope more people buy indie and stop buying AAA in general, and I would agree with that. My opinion is that a lot of these issues would require a, like, hello Otter, how are you doing? Bark, bark, bite, bite. That a lot of these issues would require restructuring the entire gaming industry from the ground up and also dismantling the notion of IP law, which is something I'm totally for. I think copyright and IP law is fucking bullshit. And needs to be fucking destroyed in order for the arts to continue functioning, including the gaming industry. It is a lot of shit where systemic change is needed, a lot of that change being fuck capitalism. A lot of these issues are, one, trademark and IP issues, or issues with capitalism. You know, it's a capitalism problem. IPs being exclusive is just capitalism, also true. It's all just a capitalism problem. Like, Nintendo, I would argue, is less evil than the majority of gaming companies. I think Nintendo is probably one of, if not the least evil AAA game company. I'm just saying. It's all capitalism problems all the way down. Still thinking and researching, got back into writing poems, how pissed I am with ice. Good, fuck ice. Fuck ice. I think IP law being like 40 years is a good middle ground. Anything more would be ridiculous. Anything more than the ridiculous thing we have. I don't think that IP and patent law is a good thing just in general. The fact that like life-saving medications are patented so that they can charge hundreds of dollars for it is fucking evil. Screw that shit. I don't think I own anything I do. Fuck ICE, ACAB, absolutely. Screw them. But yeah, I know a while back, someone, Rin typed explain. I don't know if that was in reference to me. But I think, unfortunately, a lot of the anti-Nintendo sentiment is a lot of people who are not educated on how bad the entire gaming industry is and are putting a lot of their frustration towards the easiest, most available target with the most obvious shit going on, rather than like realizing this is a systemic problem that needs to be cut off at the root. And I want us to cut it off at the root. Don't get me wrong, it's all a problem. But the problem is a lot deeper than Nintendo, and Nintendo's kind of like the least of our worries right now, you know? I mean, stuff like fictional works, I don't think anything I do should be fucking copyright. As someone who needs insulin to live, fuck patents and drink ice cream. I just mixed up two messages in the funniest way possible. No worries, Chuckling Bird. It's lovely to see you. I hope you've been well. Now, fuck patents, fuck copyright, all that bullshit. Screw that shit. New channel slogan? Fuck patents and drink ice cream. Very base comrade. Fuck patents and fuck ice cream. best out here, chat. There's still probably a little bit of weed in my system. Leave me alone. I'm valid. I'm valid. And I'm all out of ice cream. We have the quotes commands. I'm just saying. You're allowed to drop them. Do, 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 do. The few issues copyright solves can be easily addressed with a TOS and corporate personhood as they plague upon the creative industry overall. Agreed. Agreed. 100% agreed. Drink patents and fuck ice cream. Don't fuck the ice cream, please. Don't do that. We'd prefer you didn't. I don't know how to add quotes. I'll be so honest. I wrote the commands and I don't know how they work. I just copy pasted a template. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm bad at my job sometimes. You will get frostbite in your week. How was I not prepared for that? How did that manage to catch me off guard? How the fuck did that manage to catch me off guard? Alright. Sorry, I just saw an important message and I wanted to check and skim through it real quick. New Jared short just dropped. Of course they did. I love them. Jared is so cool. They're so cool. Imagine if copyright was at least what it was like pre-20th century. It was intended for the lifetime of a creator instead of like 100 years. If I can have a hot take, I still hate that. If I can give okay, I think this is one thing that a lot of people, even on the left, even people who are fans of like socialism, communism, haven't really grasped yet. It might be an uncomfortable thing for a moment, but it's ultimately for the best. There's no property under communism. You don't own shit. You don't like own your computer and stuff like that under communism, but I still think that's for the fucking better. You know? You don't own anything. And I still think that's probably for the better. Like, I think the ownership of shit is bad. I'd rather not own anything than not be able to afford anything, yeah. Like, fuck the notion of property, fuck the notion of ownership. And that includes the ownership of fucking ideas. I hate that shit. Fuck the ownership of fucking anything. I hate that shit. No thanks. Screw that bullshit. I'm no, like, political theorist, but if I don't have to rent anything, I'm cool with not owning anything, hell fucking yeah. Owning things, you mean like property? No thanks, I'm good, exactly. Fuck property. Fucking property is theft. Nothing deserves to be owned unless they consent. Real! Would say that ownership should be on necessity, otherwise it becomes hoarding. I mean, yeah, like, and one of the potential models I've seen for making this possible, I love the bungo fox. One of the models I've seen for making this possible is centered around the idea of use rights rather than ownership. So you have the right to use this thing that you need, but you don't own it, you know? And I don't quite know enough. I'm not detailed enough on the theory behind this to really speak to the depths of it, but it's a notion that I'm not opposed to. And I think provides an interesting way of navigating, you know, allowing people to use things for their purposes and needs. Library economy and dispensaries are my go-to. Yeah, I think library economies are pretty sweet. Like, I'm someone, you know, my work does require me to have a computer. My work and my art does require me to have that. Not gonna be the case for everyone. But also there's enough fucking computers out there that we can fucking probably get most people one. I don't know. Again, I'm not a theorist on these particular terms. But from what I've read and engaged with, I'm pretty fond of the idea. I don't know how the quote thing works. I'm sorry, chat. I wish I did. I wish I could tell you. It might be that only VIPs and mods can add them. Shit. It might be that only mods and VIPs can do it. I didn't think about that. Fuck. I'm so bad at being a streamer, chat. Shit. God damn it. Yeah, it's specifically a mods and VIPs thing. My bad. My bad. Like in add the quote the chat keeps trying to add. I'm excited to play more Pokemon tonight, chat. We're gonna play Pokemon Too Many Types too. I will say there is a tiny risk of the Eepy Sneepy hitting me and this ending up being a little bit shorter than normal stream. It's the I'm here to fuck patents and drink ice cream. We're gonna be doing some Pokemon Too Many Types too, which is a very fun ROM hack that I've been having a lot of fun with. Do be warned again, there's a small chance that I end this stream like an hour early just because I have not been sleeping enough recently. My own fault. Problem with my own creation, but you know. And I'm all out of patents. At some point, like a few years down the road, we need to go through the quotes together or some shit. That reminds me that I need to brainstorm ideas for my 4-year anniversary, and how would y'all feel? I don't know if I'd have the time to do this, but putting together some kind of compilation of like top clips from the channel history and going through them. I know not a lot of people from past years still watch me. The majority of my current viewers are people who have found me in the last year, which is really wild. Very cool, but very wild. The majority of my current viewers are people who have only been watching me for like a year or so. But I wonder if I could like put together some kind of top clips from the channel type of deal. Chat was moving fast earlier. Thank you for your explanation about DMs. Really helped me. Yeah, no worries. It's literally like I'm weird. I'm definitely the weirdo here. The majority of people enjoy being added into DMs so long as they, you know, consent to it. I'm just a very busy person who gets a lot of messages and whatnot, you know? We had a list of all the quotes for voting. I mean clips, like going through the top clips on my channel and whatnot, giving a history of the channel in that particular regard. It might be fun. I gotta think on it. Reacting to past AE clips type shit at some point during the 4-year anniversary. It's gonna be a big celebration. It'll be a big deal. I'm nervous. I'm excited. The channel is. I'll admit the channel's in a weird position right now where like. I honestly, we've achieved a lot in the last year, but we haven't grown that much, which is a weird thing to talk about, you know? But overall, I'm really happy with what my art looks like these days. We keep on fighting. I think it's important to emphasize the distinction between owning things and having things. Removing the current system of ownership does not mean people won't have things anymore. Current system of ownership enables hoarding and being able to allow more people to have more. Yeah, I do agree. I do agree, yes. But I think for a lot of people, even in the leftist sphere, the concept of ownership is so baked into the way they view the world, you know? And I don't have the skills to untangle that. I don't have the skills to untangle that. I'm just a guy on the internet. I'm just a guy on the internet. Ultimately. I appreciate y'all. Big stretch. Again, patents used to be 23 years. Okay, I still am of the mind that they're bad. I'm still of the mind that they're bad. I still think patenting anything for any amount of time is bad. I don't think I should have ownership of any of my fucking ideas. It's so difficult because we're all born and indoctrinated into capitalism, which makes it hard to imagine life without it. Very true. Very true. It can be really hard for people to really fundamentally, to really... This is why I always make such a big deal about the notion of cultural context and the fact that we all exist within a cultural context, and that when we engage with other worldviews and experiences and narratives, it's important to understand that they come from different cultural contexts. Because our cultural context fundamentally influences and shifts the way we think about literally everything. The way we think about ownership, the way we think about gender, the way we think about the entire notion of selfhood is all based in large part in our cultural context. These are ideals and notions that have been perceived and understood very differently in different parts of the world, in different cultures, and different times. It is so easy to take things that are baked into your cultural context for granted. Half jokingly, nothing's real. Everything is culturally constructed. And we can enjoy elements of that cultural construction, but does not make them any more or less real. The best we can imagine will hopefully be considered conservative by those who come after. Real. Honestly, if society progresses enough that one day the ideals that I stand and hold by are considered conservative, then hell fucking yeah. That is a sign that society has progressed and changed in ways that I am yet to anticipate, you know? If someday my worldview is considered conservative because, you know, people and the overall ideology of what it means to be progressive has shifted, and advanced in ways that I cannot yet imagine or anticipate, then fuck yeah. We'll see. I'm not. Insert rule chat wants to put on them. He is. Insert rule chat wants to put them in. Sorry, I gotta go. No worries. Good luck, Lycan. All the best. Hang in there, okay? This reminds me of this is not an apple. How so, Omega Scales? How so? I love that though, actually. That's a very, very nice notion that was just put into my head. I hope that one day the ideologies I hold become so outdated that they are seen as conservative by a modern standpoint, because that means that humanity has progressed in ways that I'm not ready to anticipate or understand. And that's really fucking cool. That's really fucking cool. I hope that I continue learning and growing and staying with the times, and I hope that when people read about me in history, they recognize that I'm someone who played a role in shifting things in the right direction, but I hope someday that my views are antiquated. I hope someday. And I hope that when that day comes, people take it with grace. That is a very beautiful notion, honestly. That is a very beautiful notion. I have so much hope for the future of people. I look at like the young punks around me and they really do give me hope that like the world is a good place that's worth fighting for. I'm still young. I'm still of that age where I am fighting for change. But there's a good interesting split in my friend circle where like half my friends are older than me, half of them are younger than me. I've got friends in the local scene as young as 19 and as old as fucking like 40, and it's really nice seeing so much hope for the world in these people. I'm eating cheesecake, but it's so synthetic that I have no idea what flavor it is. I want cheesecake that's so synthetic I don't know what flavor it is. That sounds good. May the world be better than we can imagine it someday. That is real. You are a young punk to me. I know I am to you. I am still very much a young punk. But it gives me hope looking at the people around me, you know? I've been adopted by a handful of elder punks and emos because they see me as a beacon of hope. I once had someone pass me a note, someone who doesn't even know me from my punk scene, who knows me in a more like casual context, like handed me a note basically thanking me for being like a bastion of hope, and thanking me for my stories of like punk and resistance and whatnot. And I'm like, I'm happy to inspire hope in others. I am excited for the future. I really am. I think that there is good to come in the world. Hee hee. Hee hee. Hee hee. Hee hee. Happy noises. There's good in the world. I hope that one day the young ones will think I'm pulling their leg when I tell them what we stood up against. You inspire a lot in us. I'm glad, and I hope I can continue to inspire a lot in a lot of people. Chat, I'm getting reminded actually that there've been a sudden uptick in comments on I Don't Regret Girlhood again, and it's been really heartwarming seeing the baby trans masks who watched the video and like relate heavily to it. It can be, there's a lot of moments where I look back at the video and I feel like I didn't do a good enough job, but the fact that it's still resonating with people and changing their lives is really nice. I wish that I had done a lot of things differently in that video. I think it was sloppy on account of how rushed it was. There's a lot of things I wish I'd addressed more, that I didn't because of fucking not having enough time. And a lot of things that I wish I had, said differently. But the fact that it still has resonated with a lot of people is meaningful to me. How many eggs do you think you've cracked? I can confirm at least 3. There's at least 3 that I can confirm. I wouldn't be surprised if there were a lot more. Baby trans mask here, that video almost made me cry in a good way. I'm glad. I genuinely am. I hope that a future society will be fighting not against fascists in our government, but against an evil wizards. Not far to still art, and you see how impactful it is? Yeah. No, the fact that it's gotten like 2 comments in the last 24 hours of like young trans masks talking about how this means something to them and like this put words to something that they've been feeling for years. That's the biggest thing. When people tell me that I've finally given them the words and vocabulary to talk about a thing that they've been feeling, that's the most meaningful thing. Knowing that someone related to it and now they have the capacity to explain it. That I've been able to give that to them is really cool. It's really, really cool. It is an honor in so many ways. I just want to make cool art and inspire people, you know? I think art being a little rough makes it more beautiful, like a gentle little bit of scuff makes it seem more genuine. See, one day I want to be like the big video essayists with their costume changes and fancy soundtracks and whatnot, but like, I'm okay being a little bit scuffed. One day I want to, you know, be full-time in part so I can make custom live 2D outfits for my model whenever I want to do a bit in a video essay. You know, I think it'd be really funny. You know how all the video essayists do costume changes? Imagine I just like rig a new live 2D outfit for like every fucking video. It'd be really funny. It would add so much to the production time though. It'd be really funny though. Someday. Someday. When I have the time. You're having the artist curse every time you glance back at what you did. All you see is the flaws, but others see the beauty and passion you put into its inception. I absolutely see the beauty and passion, don't get me wrong, but it's really nice to know that it's still impacting people in some little way. I'm very prone to feeling like my moment in the spotlight is gone, but you know what? I've gone some good places and I can do it again. I will recapture that, all in due time. All in due time. Take from that what you will, though. I know this means nothing to you, but you've been promoted to the right side of my laptop screen. Thank you. I'm glad. It's an honor. Listen, I know that oftentimes a lot of streamers function as like second monitor content. That's okay. I'm okay with being second monitor content, just don't put me on the third monitor. As long as I don't get relegated to the third monitor, we're good. I'll take your teeth in my arm. Oh, that's gay. That's some variety of queer. Oh, chat. You know how I've talked before about how a lot of other trans people on the internet keep assuming I'm trans femme? You know how I've talked about that recently. I was hanging out with some fellow punks after the show last night, and I'm talking to this one non-binary person, and I start mentioning, you know, yeah, I recently started HRT. I'm a content creator. I start going like, yeah, my pronouns are he, him, or they, them. I'm a trans mass content creator on the internet. I recently started HRT, and they stare at me for a moment. And the gears are turning in their head, and they're like, you're on testosterone? And I'm like, yeah. And like, what's up with your voice? Because your voice doesn't sound like a typical early T voice. And I go, oh, I voice trained. And immediately so much clicked in place for them. I think the reason why I keep getting mistaken is because I voice trained before starting T, so I don't have standard early transmasc T voice. Because most transmascs, when they first start with T, they end up when they first start T, end up with like a very specific, very identifiable genre of voice. So when people hear me as a trans person, they don't hear that genre of voice, they get confused. Yeah, I'm not squeaking and shit. Because I already trained in a way that prevents a lot of that shit, you know? Because, like, my natural voice is more up here. I also used to have a southern... So I used to talk... My natural voice is more up here. Very soft-spoken, not a lot of air use. Very vocal fry heavy, and I used to have a southern accent on top of it. So this is like what my this is what my voice more naturally sounds like before I like did any kind of voice training. Obviously a little bit different now that I'm on T for a while. But people expect for like an early T voice to sound a little bit more like that. But I voice trained before I started HRT. To some extent, so I skipped out on a lot of the weird, awkward, early HRT voice stage shit. You know? Chuckling Bird, thank you for the gift sub to Dusklight Wanderer, thank you. Your natural voice sounds like a stereotypical mean girl, no offense. It's the closest I can get to capturing it these days, because, you know, it's been so long since I have fucking talked like that. Give me a second, I can pull up a video. This is from when I was 18. Nope. Let me go to the video link. Why can I not go to the video link? Let me in. Here it is. Alright. So this is a clip of my voice from when I was 18.
Alright, YouTube decided it hates me. God, someone's echoing.
18. That was me at 18. That was me 6 years ago. What I tried to replicate is about as close as I can currently get to doing it because I'm so out of practice with it. I don't talk like that ever anymore, and I can go even further back. Let me grab. This is from 2018. I would have been like 16 in this video, and you can hear the Southern accent in this one. You can hear the Southern. One moment.
I'm animating a lot of because I'm lazy and I want stuff to
Okay,
You can hear the fucking Southern. You can hear the Southern in that fucking clip from when I was 16. I lost the Southern sometime between 16 and 18. And then I spent the next couple years training my voice. But you can hear the fucking Southern in this clip.
I'm animating a lot of because I'm lazy and I want stuff to
okay, she really.
And then I can go to like early streaming. It sounds like what I think my voice sounds like. It doesn't, but when I hear my voice in my head versus hearing me from a video, also real and valid. Real as shit. Voices are weird. You ageless that out of your voice like, jeez. And then if I go to like very early streaming, if I go to my video producer for my VOD channel and we filter backwards by date, here is a clip from the day of my first stream. So this was after I did a little bit of voice training, but not like fully there.
What's this? Another sound test? Oh, whoa. Okay, I am getting kind of close to clipping. Maybe I don't need to be that close.
Never have the courage to show pre-voice training clips. You're so brave. I'm just a guy on the internet. So that was me when I first started streaming nearly 4 years ago.
Oh shit.
Thank you, Frogwalker, for the follow. I appreciate it. And then pre-HRT, let me grab a clip from right before I started HRT. I am transgender. I've known that in some shape or form since I was 12, but I'm 23 now.
I saw this new thing on Facebook.
Wait,
where a
no,
bunch
stop
of parents-
auto-playing shit. But you know. You can see the big jump that happened between me being 18 and me like starting streaming at 20. The biggest thing that changed between that and like the release of I Don't Regret Girlhood is I got a lot of the nasal tones out of my voice. And then everything since then has been just HRT happening. And you know what? Winning, if I do say so myself. Succeeding in some capacity. And we love to see it. Yeah, that clip I just played is from I Don't Regret Girlhood. This right here. I am transgender. I've known that in some shape or form since I was 12. But yeah, I think the reason a lot of people get tripped up, including in that fucking IRL conversation while staring at me, is straight up just because I fucked with my voice so much before starting HRT that I kind of skipped the normal phase that people go through early on in like testosterone. Because there is a awkward voice phase that most trans masc people go through early on. I think it's funny. I honestly consider it a compliment more than anything. I'm like, you're incorrect, but I'll take it because I'm coming off as very queer, clearly queer in some capacity. But it's quite funny. Why are you loud? I think it's funny. Listen, reading is hard and I'm doing my best. Let me live. I'm doing my best. But no, that's how it goes. My voice progression has definitely been slow on account of staying on a pretty low dose of HRT, but you know. Have a ton of people think I'm transmasc when I tell them I'm trans for the first time, but it's kind of funny but weird it keeps happening. Yeah, no, I'm in the opposite boat. I've been added to like trans femme people's voice goal lists. I've had a ton of trans femmes ask me for voice training tips, and I'm like, thanks? Question mark? I take it as a compliment, but like, thanks? I'm glad people like my voice. I think we're misinterpreting something here. The funny thing for me is just like you'd think other trans people would be good at checking your pronouns. I don't know, it's funny more than anything. It's funny more than anything. And I want to maintain a big range of voices even as I continue transitioning. It's one of my big goals to make sure I maintain as much vocal range as possible. Easier said than done, but we'll get there. Big yawn! Big yawn. Big stretch as well. Big stretch. The number of transmasks we met early on who thought we were transmasking until Discord added pronouns. Yeah, it's a thing. It's a thing. I think there's an unfortunate fact that the trans community, like the trans femme and trans masc community tend to be a little bit insular and do not interact with each other enough. And I think that's bad and unfortunate and sad. You know? I think, I do think in general there is a lack of like loudly visible trans masc creators on the internet. The majority of trans creators I know in every like fucking layer and level and field of content creation is the majority are trans femme. I do think there are a lack of like visible loud trans masc creators out there, and I want to try and fill that gap. But like unfortunately I do think a lot of the trans femme and trans masc conversation in the community are very insular, and we can all fucking stand to talk to each other more. I think it's an early transition thing. We kind of reached an androgynous like where those people off because we're actually in between sexes. I mean, absolutely, 100%. That is part of what's happening. But I always find it funny. I've noticed a lot of online trans community tends to be dominated by one or the other demographics, and I think that's unfortunate. Yeah, I'm familiar with This Is Not a Pipe. I'm 100%, I'm very familiar with that painting. I've read a lot of like the study of that painting. I'm extremely familiar with it. There's still some people in person who think we're trans masc because we're kind of in an awkward place, phasing out some of the more masculine elements of our appearance, which leads to a couple misinterpretations. Yeah, I mean, and it happens. I find it funny. I find it funny. I take it positively, but it's always an interesting thing. I just think it's really funny how many other trans people on the internet hear my voice specifically and make that assumption, and I think it's because I skipped the awkward phase that most trans masc people go through. I skipped the awkward phase. Why am I like this? Oh, alright. Another funny thing is people think I'm much younger than I actually am. HRT makes you look so much younger than pre-HRT even. Oh, 100%. I look like I'm 19 and it's a problem. It's really funny because online, people get really surprised at how young I am. I have a lot of people who assume that I'm in my late to mid 20s. Sorry, that I'm in my mid to late 20s. Which I guess I'm getting closer to there, but like for years now, I've had people assume I'm in my mid to late 20s just based on the way I talk, the things I talk about, the way I articulate myself, and my like lack of cultural knowledge. Everyone assumes that I'm older than I am online. IRL, people keep assuming I'm 19. I have people ask me my age so they can verify I'm an adult before they like hang out with me. Oh, Druid. I'm a classically trained singer. I know a lot about, I know a lot about, like, vocal technique. I know, like, a lot of the proper shit. I can manipulate my larynx on the fly mid-sentence. I'm good. I'm chill. I find it funny that people would misinterpret me as transmasc if I dressed too tomboyish during my bearded lady era. That is kind of funny. That is kind of funny. It's hilarious. I need to ID check you, young man. It's not people ID checking me. It's people who like talking to me at shows. Like before they have an extended conversation, like hand over their social media to me and whatnot. They want to make sure that I'm a fucking adult. And I'm like, I don't blame them for that. But damn, am I that baby face? Damn. Wow. Apparently I look baby as fuck. But no, I'm very good at manipulating the larynx at this point because it's one of like the main skills that gets used in a lot of classical singing. So I can just move that shit around pretty fucking easily. The larynx is a very, once you get a feel for it and like where it is in your throat, it's pretty easy to just kind of like push it around as you please, you know? I don't have a massive range, but I can use what range I have, like, on command very simply. Shrug. I'm 30 and all my coworkers at my new job think I'm like 21 to 24. I tell them I have a PhD and they shut up. Oh, I had a very similar experience last night. Adjacent anyway. But no, like I don't blame folks for like wanting to make sure I'm an adult before, or make sure that the people they're hanging out with and handing their social media over to are adults. But like Jesus Christ, do I look that? It's also why I get a bunch of like 17-year-olds approach me and start talking to me for like 10 minutes before they go, wait, how old are you? That also keeps happening to me, and I'm like, God fucking damn it, why do I look that level of baby? There's so many effects I want from HRT and so many that I don't, and it pisses me off. I do not have a PhD, no. It was a similar thing where I had accomplished something in my life and someone was like, wait, I thought you were way too young to have accomplished that, you know? I'm uneducated, but it was something kind of adjacent. Yeah, Gibbery has a PhD. Yes. Eternal youth has its downsides indeed. Hello, Rampage Jester Clown. How have you been? Bark, bark, bite, bite. Let's go. No worries, High Lime. All the best. Bark, bark, bite, bite. I just want other punks to feel more comfortable approaching me because I don't look like I'm a fucking child. You know? That's all I'm asking for. That's all I'm asking for. Big yawn. Big yawn. Big stretch. Why am I EP sleepy? I know I'm EP sleepy, but why am I EP sleepy? That's gross. The reason why I'm EP sleepy is that I slept 3 hours. By the way, if anyone was wondering that question aside of me, someday an older punk will approach, hey, you need help finding your parents. That hasn't happened yet. Not even using my degree for this job. Never talk about it outside of funny anecdote. Yeah, let me tell you all about the time I accidentally became a doctor. It's gonna be funny if I ever chat with someone about getting my master's degree by the time I'm as old as you and they think I'm way younger. Kids want to be the Disney young one beacon. Okay. I want other punks to feel comfortable buying me a drink. You know? I want other punks to feel comfortable being at a show and buying me a drink to flirt with me or something like that, you know? I'm valid. I'm valid. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm valid. Bird noises at you. By the underage punks alcohol anyways, we all have to learn somehow. Okay, let's not talk about committing crimes on the internet. How do I say? I think in controlled environments, sure, but I'm also not going to enable teenagers to potentially develop alcoholism because poor decision making, you know? In Vinge's story, I mean. Thumbs up. Hello, Smudgers. How are you doing? Welcome on in. Bark, bark, my bite. Lovely to see ya. Hope you're having a wonderful evening. We're just yapping about punk shit. It's a very eepy sneepy night because I went to a punk show last night and I slept for 3 hours. Whoopsie. But we're vibing. We're vibing. Had first drink way too early. Would not recommend doing this to someone too young. Yeah. I had my first drink at the age of 21. I actually, I used to be straight edge. I used to be very straight edge. I was like, I am never going to drink or do any drugs or substances. I want to avoid all of that. Never gonna do anything. And then when I was 20, I started VTubing. And one of my friends was like, I want to do a drinking stream with you when you're old enough to drink. And I'm like, say less. I got peer pressured into fucking drinking alcohol for the first time, but turns out I have a very healthy relationship with substance use. So, we're just yapping. We're talking about punk shit. We're gonna be playing Pokemon soon. VTubing, the real gateway drug. I started drinking because of VTubing. And then even after I started drinking, I was like, okay, I'm just going to drink, and I'm only gonna do it like once a week. It'll be fine. It'll be chill. Still a healthy relationship with substances. Big yawn. I'm like, I'll still have a healthy relationship with substances, and I'll just do this one substance. That being alcohol. And then I got offered a THC shot at a show on June 23rd of 2025, a week before the day I started HRT. Now I smoke weed. But like, also still maximum of once a week. I have a very, very healthy relationship with substances, and I frequently like will not touch anything for a couple weeks just to like keep myself in check and whatnot. I have had a handle of vodka next to me almost constantly at the seat of my desk since Christmas, I think, actually. Maybe since New Year's, and I just haven't fucking touched it. I have a very healthy relationship with substances. Personally, alcohol smells so bitter for me. It is. It does and it is. Like, alcohol does not taste good. It doesn't. And if you don't want to consume it, so fair. I like it. I think it's fun. I think alcohol makes me, like, I think it can be a, I would be able to enjoy the experience even without substances, but it can enrich an experience and make the experience even better, you know? That's my relationship with substances. I would have plenty fun even if I didn't have the substance in me, but it kind of enriches the experience, allows me to have a little bit more fun. And I like that. I like that I can have this silly little juice that makes my time a little bit better than it would be otherwise, and I consume within my limits with knowledge of my own capacity, and always make sure that I am fit to drive myself home and whatnot. And if I know that I need to be the responsible one on a given night, I'll just not consume and not indulge. There's a bottle of whiskey that sits next to us on the desk that we'll gladly pour if there's a good time for it. Valid. But yeah, I have a very, very healthy relationship with substances. I regularly go like multiple weeks in a row without consuming just because I don't have any reason to. Not gonna lie, listening to folk punk while drunk is kind of our go-to. I don't blame you. Folk punk goes pretty hard while drunk. Will say that. I'm silly enough even without alcohol. I'm probably not comfortable enough to be, and that's fair. Again, live your fucking best life. Like, I was having this conversation with a friend last night as well, and also in the Discord earlier today. Different people have different capacities and different like levels of substance use that is healthy for them, and knowing your own limitations and how to make your substance use healthy is good. And if that means avoiding it entirely, then hell fucking yeah. If having a healthy relationship with substances for you means you don't do them at all, cool. Thumbs up, all good. Live your best fucking life. For me, I am someone who has surprisingly good impulse control for the amount of mental illness I have. And you know why I have good impulse control? Because I need to stream. The thing that stops me from developing a bunch of self-destructive habits most of the time is streaming, and the fact that like I know if I do this thing it's gonna get in the way of my ability to like engage with my fucking passion. So congratulations, chat, you were the reason I'm not an alcoholic. I knew my limits, but then I started HRT. I wonder if HRT has affected my tolerance, actually. I haven't paid attention. I've always been a lightweight. I haven't paid attention to if testosterone has impacted my tolerance at all, honestly. Also, ad hitting in a second now, I apologize, folks. I've not paid attention to whether or not HRT has impacted my tolerance at all. If it has, it has escaped my notice. I suspect trans mats become more tolerant, trans femmes less tolerant. I wonder what the mechanism of action of that is, though. Because I was still getting drunk really easy. Like, full disclosure, I'm the kind of person where, like, I'm tipsy after one drink. I'm drunk after two. I am comfortable to drive on one drink. I will not drive if I've had more than one. My friend pours me a drink while we're at their house before we drive to the venue because we're all carpooling. I know I'm going to be driving, so I only pour one drink, one shot. I am less than a third of the way through it by the time I'm at a point where I'm like, you know what? I'm not gonna drink any more of this, because if I drink any more of this, I don't think I can drive. Like, my tolerance is still really low. Wants to say something outrageous to test your tolerance? Sure. I don't know, I think I'm still at the point where like 5 drinks is hangover territory. My hangover was pretty mild last night, but I think that was more because I was drinking over like an 8-hour period and like had a Waffle House. I was drinking over an extended period of time, and I didn't have any drinks in the last like hour of the show to make sure that I would be able to get us home in one piece. It worked out in any case. From what I understand, the mechanism for tolerance is based on how fast your body starts metabolizing the alcohol. It's worth noting that I have a stomach condition called gastroparesis, where my stomach is paralyzed, so I absorb more of any substance that goes through my stomach. It's part of why I'm such a lightweight. My stomach is literally paralyzed. It might have something to do, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, with body fat, because body fat does impact metabolism a lot. So if, for example, estradiol is increasing your body fat percentage, that's going to change how alcohol is absorbed and metabolized. And I have, like, no fat on my body. I have, like, a 12%, I have, like, 12% body fat. I had 12% body fat before starting HRT, which is not healthy. That is professional athlete level body fat percentage, and I do not have professional athlete level muscles. Things in medication will also affect your tolerance. True. Yes. Huh. Things to think about. You take care, Catty, dearie, enjoy all the best. Oh, I was talking a little bit about the mechanisms of alcohol absorption, and particularly the fact that I have a stomach condition that makes me lightweight. I can see both trans masks and trans femmes having lower tolerance because their livers are also working on their HRT. That might be part of it as well. In any case, it's been shown to have an impact on some people, and I don't fucking know how that works. Well, I must go. Good night. You take care, High Lime. All the best. You take care. We're probably gonna be jumping into the Pokemon soon. Like I said, we might not make it a full 6 hours tonight. I'll try, but we'll see. Oh, I totally get that chuckling bird. My wife can jerk me under the table, though unlike me, she'll feel it in the morning. Combination of estradiol, my living conditions, and poverty have led to me eat less sometimes, which increased my body weight, which is probably the best thing that lowered my tolerance. Yeah, I will say, AE fun fact, a little bit heavy. Before starting HRT, I was about 20-ish pounds underweight. I have managed to resolve that. I am now at a healthy weight, barely, but there. But I was about 20 pounds underweight before starting HRT. Mostly because of my stomach condition. My stomach is paralyzed. So I have a lot of trouble eating and keeping down food. And it's also why I'm such a lightweight. I don't know if that's actually messed with my tolerance, though. I'm not sure. Shrug, in any case. I think I'm gonna open up the Pokemon, though. I think I want a Pokemon chat. I think it's Pokemon time. I'm gonna grab Pokemon. Yay! Pokemon time! What do you think of the wind wave rumors? I have not paid attention. What wind wave rumors? Are those like the rumors for the next Pokemon games? Because I have not heard them actually. Any rumors about the next game? I am completely in the dark. Next gen, got it. Would a pacemaker type machine help your stomach? You could theoretically put like something to electrocute my stomach and like stimulate the neurons in it. But it would be a very expensive procedure, and you think I have the fucking money for that? Besides, I don't like not being able to eat a lot of foods and getting nauseous as often as I do, but I do like having a low tolerance for substances. It's very fun. I don't know, there's something very fun about the energy of getting just like drank under the fucking there's something very fun about being like outdrank. Me being at like me and someone else being at 5 drinks each, and me being on the fucking floor struggling to speak while they're just chilling. Next gen said on a Japanese island. It would surprise me if they went back to a Japanese island. I think that would surprise me. The variety of human experience, am I right? Listen, it's kind of fun being like, okay, don't take this the wrong way, chat. None of you fucking misinterpret me. I can see you. I can see you typing. But there's something very fun about the image of, or the experience, because I've had this experience a few times, of taking like the same dosage of a substance or the same number of drinks or whatnot as someone in the same room and being utterly fucked up while they're like mostly normal and laughing. I think it's really funny while I'm helpless levels of fucking drunk and my friend is sitting there laughing, having consumed the same amount of fucking drinks as me. Alright, anyway, welcome back to Pokemon Too Many Types. Wow, my Comey just evolved. I didn't know they could do that. I wonder what type it has now. Have you already challenged Flannery, the leader of the Lava Ridge Gym? The girl's grandfather was famous. He was one of the Elite Four in the Pokemon League at one point. It wouldn't surprise me to see Flannery become a great trainer in her own right. That's hilarious to me, but on the other end, 1% ends up annoyed by it usually. In my experience, no. And typically when I'm doing this, it's consensual. That we're like, it's with warning. Sorry about that, good buddy. AE, I'm shocked you got to Fall Arbor Town before me. It's almost like I gave you my bike. Rida was able to hook me up with another one easily. But now I'm here to stop and check if you've been training hard. Remember our declaration? Especially when you haven't faced me or my 180 BPM team yet. Enjoy your dinner, all the best. No, usually anyone I drink with is warned that I am a lightweight. My squad's evolved since our last battle. Get ready to be wiped. Alright, so you are Family Guys type. And boy do I have a surprise for you, it's called Gun. We've already verified that Gun is super effective against family. Oh Christ. Oh! Shit. Okay. What's gonna be good against family? We haven't gotten to see apes in action yet. We're gonna lose this fight. What do you have? You have, monkey. Monkey. Struggling with the East Coast time zone, need to pass out. No worries, you take care, Chuckling Bird. All the best. Hope to see you again sometime in the near future. You hang in there, alright? I hate this. This is terrible, actually. This is bullshit. This is fucking bullshit. This is fucking bullshit. I hate this. Also, why is it not rat type? You must destroy the family of 4. I'm trying! Okay, it's dead. The family is too powerful. I am being defeated by conservative family values. Chat, the queer boy is having his entire ass wrecked by conservative family values. AE, he was divorce proceedings. Alright, we get an Orocorio. What are you? Fire Dance Bird. Fire Friend Fluffy. Shit, we might be fucked. Friend type? Doesn't do duck shit. Alright, I'm fucked. I am straight fucked. A's my husband didn't bother to maintain the relationship because he thought he won life and then wrecked it. Real. This is unfortunate. I think we're losing this.
shit.
Hello, spooky Sapphics. Welcome on in. Barbara Bye Bye. Let me make sure you get a shout out. How are y'all doing tonight? Apologies, mods are currently away dealing with personal business, but hello folks, I'm Archivist, your resident chaotic Enfield. I stream Cool retro games and do art here on twitch.tv. For today we're playing a Pokemon Emerald ROM hack called Pokemon Too Many Types, in which there are too many types. How do you know? How do you know? In any case, hope you're all having a wonderful evening, a lovely stream, whatever it may be. I'm a little bit out of sorts tonight as I went to a big punk show yesterday. Still a little bit fatigued and tired, but hey, we're here, we're queer, we're thriving. Lovely to see y'all. What were you up to? Do share if you don't mind me asking. We're also getting our ass kicked currently. 2 doesn't sound like too many. You know, you're right. Unfortunately, I can't count that high. I can't count that high. I'm not very smart. Jesus Christ. Okay, so that was miserable, actually. The US education system has failed us. I tried, okay? I tried. I don't know what's effective against guys. I don't know what's effective against guys. Huh. Bungle Cat only has 2 fingers to count with. He can't even count that high. Hades 2 was fun. Hell fucking yeah. Hope you've been enjoying yourself. I've been really enjoying my time with Hades 2 when I've been playing it. Very good game. Would recommend. We have the move tutor here. Oh, okay. So I can relearn moves from the summary menu. Understood. I don't know how to do that, but apparently I can. Good thing to know. Related note starting Corona Cassette Beast. I've enjoyed Cassette Beast. I haven't finished it yet, but... Alright. I have not actually played Cassette Beast, but I want to. Poor Professor Cosmo. He's so depressed, I feel sorry for him. Would recommend Cassette Beasts. Sorry, I needed a big stretch. Then on my list of demos to try, absolutely give it a shot. I would totally recommend it. It's good. Alright, I'm gonna just stock up on some items. Aww. Chat, why is the EP hitting? I'm sad about it. The EP is illegal. The EP is illegal. I don't like that I'm starting to feel EP. I don't want to go to bed. I'm only able to do 3 streams this week, and that sucks. I'm trying to hold on for as long as I can, but og. Alright, we should actually do some of these trader battles though, because our level's too low right now, apparently. We don't have the levels or the moves we need. We need to figure out what's effective against guys. Yeah, you're small bean. You are Ice Bean friend. Have you considered a gun? There's no better weapon than gun. Hit me at 5 p.m. right for getting off work. Now I'm wide awake and I need to actually sleep. Oh no! I feel that. Eepy, you're under arrest for yawn. For yawn! Gotta eradicate. You're gonna be something rat type. Hater rat? I love that. That's terrible. Beautiful. The EP. No, Cassette Beast, if you're a Pokemon enjoyer, Cassette Beast should absolutely be on your list. It is an excellent game that deals with you know, creature collecting mechanics and whatnot, and the puzzles in it are very fun. Oh my god, it's Corvisquire. I love Corvisquire. I don't want to give up Pigeon Pit though, and I would have to get rid of Pigeon Pit in order to make room for this. That's so sad. I love Corvisquire. Very good Pokemon line. Rest in piss. Hello, Lucky. Bark, bark, bite, bite. No, I need to finish Cassette Beats actually, because I'm most of the way through the game, but I never did finish it. Also, hello, Lucky. Bark, bark, bite, bite. Hope you're doing well. We're chilling, we're playing some Pokemon. I'm trying to... Yeah, last night was fucking incredible. I'm definitely starting to feel the exhaustion now. But like, it was such a worthwhile night. God, that was an incredible first show of the year. Finally sobered up the week-long gummy. Yeah, you're insane, dude. I cannot imagine consuming that much of any substance. Sorry, we don't have any room for the bird right now. It's a very good bird, but we don't have any room for it. There's a lot of them. I just don't have any room on my team for it. Corvisquire is one of my favorite bird types, but I don't have any room on the team. It's so sad. It's been a fucking trip. Somehow I was at a concert, worked a whole shift. Yeah, I don't know how you managed that, my guy. I don't know how you managed to work a shift like that. Went to sleep and took a shower at some point? I mean, you survived. You survived. Like, I don't think I want to know what that experience was like. This area is covered in volcanic ash. I'm specially gifted. I make glass out of volcanic ash and make items. Go collect ashes with this. Beautiful. It's fun to blow a glass flute while my boss is talking. Now it's time to feud against the pigeons. Like with all the love in the world, Lucky, was being high, like, I feel like being high that long is not even fun. I feel like being high for that long a period of time just isn't fucking fun anymore. At some point you're just like, man, I want to be fucking sober. Yeah. I'm like that after about 4 hours. That's where I'm at after a few hours, you know? But in any case. We're playing Pokemon. The point is playing Pokemon right now. We have an Impidimp here. I hate Impidimp. Impidimp is a terrible Pokemon. I'm sorry. I hate Impidimp. I get anxious high after that long. Yeah, I imagine as well. I hope you're okay, Groggy. Well, come on in. Bark, bark, bite, bite. Impidimp is just ugly. I don't like how ugly it is. But if you become a bird gym later and just have all the birds, I'm not gonna win the run if I do that. I'm not gonna be able to beat the game. What do I have that would even be good against Frogadier? Does Impidimp have the ugly type in this game? I don't recall what it had. I already forgot. Alright, Frogadier. That's my own fucking mon. Yeah, Water Frog Ninja. I think a bird type might do something. As we all know, birds are the natural enemy of ninjas. The predator. The natural predator of the ninja. You'll ever get accused of being high when you're not? Yes, actually, a lot. That's the thing that's happened to me a lot, like well before I was a substance user, just because I always, you know, I was punk, I looked the part people assumed that I was a substance user, so it would happen a lot with specifically medical. Flying poison freak is so good. It would happen specifically a lot with medical professionals. A lot of medical professionals, I would like come in for an issue and they would go, "Are you high right now?" Like one time I had an eye infection. And so I go in and I'm like, hey, there's like a severe pain in my eye. It's probably just an infection, but I want to stop by and make sure there's no like external damage. And they question me for like 20 minutes. Or they keep pushing and being like, you're probably just on substances. And I'm like, I literally at that point in my life had drank like 3 times and had never had a weed before. And they're sitting here accusing me, and I'm like, no. I don't... At that point in my life, I didn't touch that shit. And it's such a shitty, annoying assumption, especially for a medical professional to make. Kind of fucked up, actually. Fuck that doctor. Yeah. I did end up having an eye infection. It was an eye infection, like I thought. Also, hello, Carnivorous Cannabis. Lovely to see you. Bark, bark, bye, bye. That's hilarious, but also really sad. What the heck? Yeah, indeed. I'm still disappointed by it, to be honest. I'm still mad about it. I'm still mad about it. This is rough. Pigeon Pit is having a bad time right now. Pigeon Pit is struggling. Christ. Alright, who else are we bringing out? Well, we can bring Dog Park Dissidents out. Too many doctors unironically don't treat patients as people, to be honest, yeah. And there's a lot of, like, medical stereotyping that happens. A lot of, like, medical stereotyping. It is a big problem. If you are of any kind of marginalized group, you are going to get like horribly stereotyped and probably medically abused by your doctor, and that sucks. The curse on pigeon kind is working. I'm part pigeon technically. I'm part mourning dove. Alright, we need to go heal. Cause the fuck was that shit? Had a supervisor come up to me at work and remind me that I'm not supposed to be high while at work. Bruh. Evil. Evil. Actively investing my many dollars that I graciously gave myself into making a tea garden while trying to not get more ill. Loving life right now. Hang on in there. Groggy, you're lovely and you always have a place here. I hope you know that. I'm very eepy sneepy right now. I am probably gonna end early and I'm sorry. Oh, you did! Congrats, Hunter! Holy shit, one sec. Let me get you that VIP. I just saw that. Slash VIP at Hunter. Congratulations! You're VIP now! Yay! Congratulations! I'm so proud of you. You did it. All my friends compare my immune system to that of a previously ill Victorian child. My last doctor visit, they flat out refused to take me as a patient because the doctor had no idea how to handle transgender patients. Have you considered biting them? That usually works for me. Congrats, Missing Project. Proud of you. Aww. Biting slash pecking, always a valid option. Indeed! Always a valid option. I'd certainly say so. Alright, we have Gaslight Gatekeep. And then Grass Guys. Alright, badass, badass. Come on, come on, come on. Gaslight, Gatekeep, Girl Boss. Yo, where's the Girl Boss type? Okay, so that's, we know Guys is not very super effective. Not very effective, got it. What is effective against Guys? We need to find out. We need to find out what's good against Guys. Sorry, against, that's not... Chat, I might need sleep. Chat, I might need sleep. I don't want sleep. I want to stream 6 hours like I normally do, but I might need sleep. I might, if y'all are okay with it, close out at the 6 hour mark and potentially throw in a stream tomorrow. No promises. If not, try to go long on Saturday, because OG. The EP is hitting and I'm mad about it. Okay, fop is just a misspelling of fox. It's a funny, humorous, like, misspelling, mispronunciation of fox. What's fling? Fling is monkey type. We don't need, yeah, we don't need that. That's not useful. Alright. We don't need fling. Huh? Yeah, I never like ending stream early, but I think I'm gonna try to push on a little bit longer. I think I might be too EP sneepy. I think I might be too EP sneepy. I'm like making very basic mistakes right now, and that's less than ideal. That's less than ideal. That, you said you had a, that's not the type of Pokemon you said you had. Ice thing. Okay, ice thing. I don't think it's gonna be very effective. Yeah, it's not. Okay. So Ninja's not very effective either. That's so fascinating. I've completely lost track of the type chart here as well. I don't know what's happening. Oh, that's really lovely, Asa. That's really lovely. Did. Honestly, it is a dream of mine to one day have a situation where I have a garden. It is a dream of mine to someday have a garden. I want to care for plants. That is a thing that I do aspire for and dream of. It's one of those tiny little dreams that stays in the back of my head. To one day be in a position where I can have a garden, you know? I don't think I could, Asa. I don't think I could ever homestead. I am too physically ill for that. The majority of people are. Oh my god, hi Spinda! Alright, you're just dance type. Monkey is super effective against dance type, we've learned. Okay, okay. Oonga boonga. Yeah. A lot of people, I think, vastly underestimate the amount of work that goes into maintaining the kind of, like, farmland that would enable you to basically live off the grid. Like, severely, severely. Severely. Homesteading is not nearly as easy as, like, you know, influencers on the internet want you to believe. God damn it, apes. I saw you live last night. Don't forsake me. Okay, guys, is also super effective against dance. Interesting, interesting. We're learning something. I don't know what it is that we're learning, but we're learning it. Whatever it is. You're supposed to learn to move agility. No. Fuck you. And we get caught in a double battle. We've got this though. We can figure this out. Hopefully. Alright, we got Mimikyu and we got Morgren. Freak Sus Ghost is so good. Freak Sus, I love Freak Sus Ghost. I love Freak Sus Ghost so much. 10 out of fucking 10. Let's see. There we go. Let's see what we can do here. I'll have a little balcony and some indoor space for anything gardening. Currently trying to keep an avocado plant alive. Hey, good work. I'm proud of you. It's not easy. You're doing great. No shame at all. So swallowed. Swallowed is poison these nuts, 'cause of course it is. Of fucking course that is a type in this. Why am I not surprised? Big stretch again. Why am I not surprised? I hate that that makes perfect sense, actually. I hate that that literally makes perfect fucking sense. Monkey. Oonga boonga, indeed. Sometimes you kind of just gotta. Oonga boonga. Oh no! Okay, chat, how obvious is it that I am extremely EP sleepy right now? How obvious is it? Important question. How evident is it? A tiny bit obvious? Alright, good to know. These nuts is crazy work indeed. Very much, we can tell by body language and yawning. Can you tell by my body language if I'm tired, actually? Can you? Is it obvious in my model that I'm, like, tired as shit? Really? Because that surprises me. It is fascinating. I can see the body language of the low quality. Fair. Eyes closed, swaying. Almost like we can see the shoulders slouch a bit. Fascinating again. Fascinating. Yeah, I'm currently wondering about my ability to make it to the 4-hour mark as much as I want to. I think I do need sleep, and I hate that because I want to like stream and be productive, and I don't know if I'll be able to tomorrow, which sucks. But I'm doing my best out here. It's all we can ever do. Okay. How dare you be a human with oh, okay, I'm not a human, I'm a Fabius with Fabius limitations, but yeah. Unfortunately, it's one of those nights. It just is always very unfortunate for me on the weeks when I cannot stream like 4 times, having to cut anything short. It's a mix of like the cold weather and the fact that I pushed myself very hard at a punk show the other night. Alas, alas. I know, we all have our limitations, myself included, but maybe I should be better and not. /J. We all got the limitations. And I'm currently feeling out mine, but that's how it goes sometimes. Please tell me that's the end of that fight. Don't send out another— No! There's another Pokemon. You, what are you? You are Flying Poison Freak. We're doing our best out here. The sleep deprivation is hitting right now. I should be back on the grind pretty well by Saturday at the very least. I'll have plenty of time to rest. My goat Tranquil, I love Tranquil. Tranquil is such a good Pokemon.
Oh shit.
Thank you so much for the follow, I appreciate it. Welcome to the archive. Ah, rah, rah, rah. Go goat. My go goat, Tranquil. Thank you so much, Tranquil. I hate this fucking... this bat. Hello, Arctic Ninja. Good evening. I am Transmask. I am a trans guy. Welcome on in. Pleasure to make your acquaintance. I know my voice is confusing to a lot of folks. It's currently in that androgynous range, but I don't particularly mind that. We're currently, it's a very EP kind of night. We're playing a little bit of Pokemon. Probably won't be going on for too much longer. I normally go for 6 hours, but I'm a little bit sleep deprived tonight, so we might be cutting it a little bit early. But pleasure to make your acquaintance. Welcome on in. What does Retaliate do? Attack that does more damage if an ally fainted. I don't think that's worth it. Not currently, anyway. Thank you, Lucky, for the hydrant as well. Listen, some fun mix of voice training in HRT will give you a really androgynous voice. I'm just saying, at least for the Transmask direction of things. I think it's pretty funny.
I'll use my ninjutsu on you, Volcanic Ash Swirl Cloak. What? It's already over?
Alright, how do I get out of here? We grab this. Got a TM for Steel Wing. Nice. I might drop that on Pigeon Pit, actually. Burb. I'm tempted to drop that on Pigeon Pit. That might end up on Pigeon Pit. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. BRB, Burb, but not quite Borb. Hello, Lycan. We're probably going to be ending early tonight, mostly because the sleep deprivation is catching up with me. I've slept for 3 hours and I've been up since 6 a.m. So unfortunately, I am kind of hitting the point of tapping out, but it's been a good stream. It's not for lack of love. I'm very mad that I'm going to be tapping out so early, but the EP Sneepy is kicking in. The EP Sneepy is here. Goblin Gamer. Have you considered touching grass? I'm sure a grass type attack would be so hyper effective against you. Apparently bird is also pretty effective. Got it. Understood. So we've learned that gamers are scared of birds. Is this accurate, gamers in chat? Sound off. Are you scared of birds? This is specifically a question for the gamers. Anything can be super effective if you've hit it hard enough. I like the way you think. What type are you actually? Oh yeah, you're just dance type. Right. If I fire this bird at Mach speed, anything can be super effective if you try hard enough. If punching the Nazis doesn't solve the problem, you're not punching hard enough? Real and true, actually. This is real, true advice that I will sign off on. No! Stop being mean to my bird. There, we get a linking cord. Beautiful. Alright. I need to make it back to town somehow. We wander back in the general direction of town. Oh no, please don't kill my bird. I need him. He and I need to make it home in one piece. No! There's no way we're beating that rival fight. I'm gonna have to do like some actual strategizing and trying to figure out the type chart to beat that fight. I want to though. We will do it. We will do it. So we're confused, we're paralyzed. What the hell? Oh, this is bad. Oh, this is very bad. We are struck with two different conditions at once right now. How did this happen? No! My bird! Ray's curse was too strong. How could you do this to me, Ray? How could you? This is straight up sad. This is just sad. Okay, you're no longer confused. Beautiful, thank you. It's the wombo combo. Just be happy, infatuation, and flinching aren't a part of it. You're so right. It is the wombo combo. We survived. We beat the wombo combo. We're strong. We're powerful. We are stronger than any wombo combo could ever be. Alright, but with all that said, unfortunately, I hate to do this. I am too sleep deprived to continue on tonight. I'm going to be focusing on resting and taking care of myself. I almost never end streams for the 6-hour mark, but it's just one of those nights where I need to go to bed early. The consequences of my own actions, I should have taken a nap before stream, but I didn't. That said, I will next be live on Saturday. Tiny chance of like an extra little unscheduled stream tomorrow. I'll see if I can throw something in there. I might talk to a friend and see if a friend is down to do something. If I feel up to it, no promises, no obligations. We'll figure it out when we get there. But in any case, if I don't see you tomorrow, I will see you absolutely on Saturday. We will be playing some Hades 2. It'll be a good time. I'm gonna go find someone to raid. I'm gonna go find a raid target. Let me see which of my buddies are online right now. You don't forget to med check and take care of yourselves, folks. It's important. Who do I want to raid? I got a lot of people on. You know what? I know who I'm gonna raid. I see a raid target. Ooh, wait. Never mind, I'm changing my plan. We're gonna go raid... Dove better not be ending. Okay, I don't know if Dove is ending. Hopefully Dove is not ending, but we're gonna go raid Dove Bleeding Heart. Be warned. 18 plus stream. If you are a minor, don't hang around Dove stream. But